Okay, hi, I'm Michael Lamoureux, and I'm a candidate for Toronto Mayor.
And my name is... That was a fast introduction. You didn't give me a chance to sit down. Michael, nice to meet you. First time meeting you, hey?
Yes, it is, Phil.
Strong guy, firm grip.
So is Phil.
These candidates are killing my hand, Jerry. That's good. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank
How
you
do you say
very
your
much.
name? Michael Lamoureux?
Lamoureux would be the correct French
like that.
pronunciation, but in English, Lamoureux is perfectly fine.
Good. So you're running for mayor. You're my third mayor candidate to run. First time meeting in public. He does not look anything like the picture of it. I told him that right now. He's a lot younger looking, right? Yeah.
I've had a lot of work done, so.
They're gonna ask where your plastic surgery is. No, you look good. I like you in the suit.
Oh, thank you.
So we're at a location at Thompson Park. Found a nice bench here. I just stopped by Brimley. And,
My first time here in Scarborough at this park.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I didn't know about this park before, but it's a really nice park, and I think that Scarborough is very lucky to have this kind of.
It's beautiful, eh? Yeah. How come whenever I do an edit, the wind picks up, and we've been sitting here for like half an hour talking back and forth. As soon as I put the camera on, it just starts running. Every interview I do this, So I found to pray to the wind spirits. Yeah. So this is your second term running, right?
That's right. I ran in 2023. I've been retired a few years before that, and I've always had an interest in politics. And having lived in the city since 1982, I've seen the quality of life for everyone in the city of Toronto decline. And I'm not the sort of person who just sits back and complains about stuff. I want to do something about it. I do believe that I have had some of the correct analysis of what's driving some of the problems we have in the city of Toronto, and I do believe I'm creative in terms of how I want to address those issues, and I wanted the opportunity to at least be part of the discussion, because what I found over the years is, when I've sent emails to politicians about this, that, and the other thing, I find that they don't get any attention at all.
No.
And there's no discussion. If you have some different ideas, again, they do not get considered.
No.
And so the one time you have a chance in the city to make a difference, or at least make people think differently, is during the election itself. So I decided that I'd put myself out there. I learned a lot in 2023 about how to set up a web page and how to get some signs printed and some materials printed.
Let's show your genius. He put these wooden things here to keep the sign out. I think it's cool.
It's just like a little sandwich board.
Yeah,
nice. Thank you.
So let's go into your background. You're born in Toronto?
So no, I'm originally, I'm 66 years old, born in 1960.
That was my next question. Yeah, I didn't want to ask you. That's good. 66. Looks good. 66, eh?
Okay. I try and stay in shape.
He's solid. I hit him on the back. I was like, wow, this guy's solid.
No, I get bounced around in hockey a bit because
I play with some,
I get played with some tall young guys.
Oh, the big guys. Yeah.
It's all gentlemanly, but yeah. So I was born and raised in Montreal. So as you can tell from my family name,
my favorite city. I love Montreal.
Yeah, I love Montreal too.
What part of Montreal were you in?
I was in the South Shore, so St. Lambert.
Oh, nice. I was in Lambert. Yeah,
nice if you like it. So, did you ever have to go to the Air Force Base, the St. Hubert Air Force Base?
Yeah, I was posted there a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know it well. Yeah.
So my father's French Canadian. My mother is English speaking from out Manitoba way.
Okay.
And I'm the eldest of 3 children, and I really enjoyed living in Montreal and learning. Unfortunately, I'm not bilingual because English was the only language spoken at home. I really regret that. It's one of my biggest regrets in life. I couldn't even speak with my own grandmother fluently because she only spoke French.
Oh, wow.
So but she loved us to bits, and I loved her too, as we all did. Went to school at Queen's University.
You're in Toronto?
In Kingston.
Okay.
Yeah, got a commerce degree there.
Okay.
And then at the time, so that was 1982, at the time the only jobs available for me were in Toronto. So I came to Toronto. And
you came on your own to Toronto?
Yep. Yeah, moved away from home. I was already out of home anyway, so I was living in Kingston for school. And started working here, again with a commerce degree. I've worked in banking and a variety of other industries, but I transitioned into mainstream finance accounting, so I have my accounting degree, or designation I should say. And I've worked in different industries in the city. I've worked in different places in the city, so I've worked in the West End, and the East End, north of the city, downtown, so I'm pretty familiar.
So you've seen quite a bit of the city.
I've seen a lot of the city, that's right. Yeah. So I love Toronto. I wish we'd win a Stanley Cup. But
let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
We're wearing blue. That's good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, let them win, please.
We've won.
Yeah, we need to win.
We've won a few pennants. That's
Yeah.
that's terrific.
Yeah, we need to win. Yeah.
So, I'll just. So again, I've had a very successful career.
You met your wife here in Toronto?
Retired early. No, I met my wife in Sejup in Quebec, and we've been together since we were 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
High school buddies and all?
Yeah, Sejup's like a junior college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you met.
So
Okay.
that's right. That's where we met.
So you were still seeing each other when you came to Toronto? You were still together?
Yes. So
Oh, okay.
so we were apart for a few years. So, and then she transferred with her company. She was able to transfer. So when we were married, so we were married. Well, today that would consider 24. People would consider that young.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I absolutely advocate for people, if you want to get a good start in life, find a partner and get married early. Don't delay.
Yeah.
Because it just makes your life a lot easier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was she 18 too? Though?
Yeah, we're the
both?
same age. Yeah.
Good.
So she retired a few years ago after I did, and she's been very supportive of me and my campaign. So so I'm just looking forward to again.
So how'd you go from being in that industry of accounting to an interest in politics?
I've been interested in politics since probably about 12 years old.
Okay, so you
Because I'm a big news hound, and
Okay.
I've always watched the news. My parents always watched the news. Read news magazines, and so again, I'm just a very curious person. I like to know what's going on, how things work, and I just have this natural ability to say, well, that's a problem. How could we solve that?
Mm-hmm.
And I just always liked that at all three levels of government. Now, I never really considered entering provincial or federal, and in fact, when I was younger, I didn't really think about municipal politics, because I always thought municipal politics should be a very sleepy, quiet sort of thing. You just take care of a few minor issues, and
That's it.
wasn't particular interest to me.
That sounds like a city council.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's kind of how it's been going, right? So, as I've lived in the city and just experienced directly the problems that people are having.
For example?
Affordability is one, traffic, transit, homelessness, poor city services, and financial difficulties.
Now this is dating back to what time period? Like you had.
This has been gradual, right? So when I came to the city of Toronto, what a great place to live in.
Great. We have a great city.
Well, it
diversity.
was great then, though.
Yeah.
Because why though? It was very affordable back then. I mean, it was more expensive than Montreal, but still quite affordable. I mean, my rent, I think when we were married, was $500, and it was a nice apartment.
One bedroom?
Bathurst, yeah, one bedroom with a dining room and a living room.
You couldn't even rent a bathroom for that price.
No.
Yeah,
we can talk about how bad
Yeah,
things are.
it's
And it was
bad,
easy to find, and it was in a nice, convenient place. And if I couldn't have afforded that, and I barely could afford it, because I think I was paying like 35% of my income on rent at the time, but it was worth it, and it was in a convenient place. But you could easily have found cheaper places, right? Traffic, you could drive in and around this city. It was a breeze in those days.
Yeah.
You could find parking downtown free in an empty lot.
Yeah.
The TTC ran on time, wasn't crowded, was perfect.
Wasn't breaking down.
Wasn't breaking down. All sorts of things. Homelessness. I can only remember maybe one incident in the 80s where somebody approached me for money on the street, and there weren't encampments because there were people. There weren't as many, but also there were a lot of neighborhoods that could rooming houses.
Yes.
In fact, just moving on a bit, my neighborhood in Riverdale, people won't believe this, but Riverdale in the 70s and even into the 80s used to be a rooming house neighborhood.
Really?
My house used to be a rooming house, and that was with an unfinished basement, and they had 6 people living there, and a number of people that we know in Riverdale as well. Their houses were also rooming houses. People look at it today, and of course, homes there are selling for 1.5 to over 2 million, right? People wouldn't believe it, but no, that's what it was. That's how easy it was to live in the city of Toronto back in the day.
You get proper housing instead of shelters.
Yeah, that's right.
Shelters wasn't a word back then. I never heard the word.
Well, yeah, so
not like now.
I looked. So back in the 70s and even maybe in the 60s. As people are probably aware, there are homes owned and operated by Toronto Community Housing. Okay, these are single-family dwellings because back in the day, that's how they addressed the issue of social housing. the houses were so cheap and the city had money, they could buy houses.
Yeah.
And they're scattered all over around the city.
Yeah,
There's about
yeah.
600 of them or something like that, right?
My dad worked for Ontario Housing many years. Yeah.
Okay,
So
right.
you
know
heard
about it.
firsthand.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
that's how, again, because the demand was so few. So it just, now they've stopped buying individual houses like that. There's no way the city can afford that sort of thing. But they're sitting on a lot of value as far as those properties are concerned. And we can maybe touch about on that a little bit later, whether that's what we need to continue doing or not, but we can talk about that.
So let's go back to, so I ran in 2022 for mayor.
Right.
And you hadn't run yet. You ran in the by-election.
That's right.
So my
I
question,
thought about it.
oh,
and
that's a question. Why did you not run?
I was just, I just,
You thought about putting your name in the last?
I thought about it and I thought, no, I'm not quite ready yet. And then afterward, I beat myself up for not doing that.
Oh, you did?
And then the
Okay.
opportunity came up to 2023 and I just jumped on it right
Just
away.
ran it,
I said, no, I have to do that.
Yeah. And how'd you do in the last one?
Well, out of 102 candidates, I think I was 63rd or something like that. So that's not many votes. That was 120 votes.
Yeah,
But here was the good thing about that. I did learn how to create a website. I'm very
Yeah.
happy about that. And my campaign materials, including this sign, I kept it generic, so because I knew if
Did you run again?
I would definitely run again.
Good.
There's no point in putting in that kind of effort without running again.
Yeah.
You yourself ran
Yeah, that's right.
twice,
And
right?
I'll give you your sign in place. You got your QR code
Yeah,
here. And it's
that's
great.
right. It's a nice sign for close up.
Yeah.
From a distance, though, this is one of the things I learned. From
Yeah.
a distance, it's
Yeah, you can't see. Yeah.
you can't see.
But your
it.
name is Cathy Lamoureux.
Lamoureux. Yeah, it's unique.
Yeah.
That's right.
Out of
And
Buddy-
not to be confused with up probably just north of here, up in North York. There's Lamoureux Park.
Yeah, that's right. So,
It's
yeah, that's
spelled
where
a
you're-
little different. They have an extra A in it.
They have an A in there. Yeah.
and I don't know who that person was.
Yeah.
As far as I know, not related.
Talk about
so-
little Lamoureux refugee.
But
Well,
this would
yeah.
be, I'll put a plug out for my family name. This is the correct way to
Yeah,
spell
go ahead.
Lamoureux.
We can talk about plugging it.
That's right.
I didn't really cover family names though. Just kidding. So you decided to go in 2023 and run for
Yes,
by-election.
that's
Okay. And how was your experience there?
Again, I knew at the time it was mostly about learning.
Mhm.
Secondly, is about getting out my message, my ideas.
Yeah.
Again, so the one thing that I found encouraging that on my website, so I knew when I ran that I would get, maybe 25 votes or something from the people I know,
Yeah.
just friends and family,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It's not a big circle, and I didn't really push myself. So that means I would have gotten 100 votes from people who didn't know me. So I had maybe 800 views to my website. So that's the only way they would have known me, or maybe some of the videos that I did, the
Yeah.
debates. So that means about 10% of the people who saw my stuff said, "Oh, I'll take a chance on this guy."
Yeah.
10% conversion, as they call it.
Yeah.
That's pretty encouraging.
Yeah, first time. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a question now about getting my message out to as many people as I possibly can through people like yourself,
Yep.
which I really, really appreciate.
No problem. No problem.
And
That's why I did it for
yeah,
you guys. Yeah.
and then right now, I'm just learning how to do social media. Again, that's a new thing for me, and maybe a little rusty at the beginning, but like everything else I've ever done in my life, I'll get better and better at it.
You're doing pretty good. He was nervous at the beginning.
Yeah,
I had him
so
on.
I'll still be nervous later on. You'll see.
I had to massage the shoulders and calm him down.
No.
He said, "That was
Phil's an excellent host. He's very good at.
Gonna make it calm.
So I'll encourage just for a second. Tell all the other candidates, please. Phil sent a message to everybody.
Yeah, this is for you guys.
Come
yeah.
be interviewed by
Yeah.
Phil.
And it's free.
It's free.
Don't ask me about the price
That's
anymore.
right.
It's all
That's right.
free.
No.
And
You're a valuable community
and
service.
we both, as I said on the website, once this is done, it'll go on YouTube. And you go on the website, you'll see the 20 outlets of social media,
Yes.
iHeartRadio,
Yeah, you
Apple.
can-
Yeah, and that once you load the video on Anchor, Spotify, you create your own account there. It does the job for you. So once you
Okay.
got those accounts all created, you can do it yourself, and you can put this video on your own account there. And it'll go like I'll do it myself.
Right.
You have your own future videos.
Yeah.
It'll do it for you.
Yeah.
It says putting the RSU knowledge account separately. Yeah. It was a nice bonus. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
I'll have to learn about that too.
Yeah, I'll share it.
Okay,
It's easy,
thank you very
yeah.
much. I try to keep things simple though.
I know.
So if some things, for example, I'm not going on X.
No, I don't like that. It was Twitter.
I just-
Twitter's toxic. I was in it before.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Amount of people that.
Well,
try.
let's talk about that for a sec. So that's an important part of my campaign. I mean, I really want to focus on myself and my ideas. I'm not here to criticize other people.
No.
Because just back to your earlier question about what I learned in the last campaign is all the 102 candidates, all nice people, all caring people.
like yourself, yeah.
There's no shortage of people who care
Yeah.
and are nice people. So that was very encouraging to me that there's enough people interested in trying to get involved. And again, I
Look at all
encourage
these
people.
all these from previous elections. I'm still friends with most of these guys. I was the only mayor candidate back in 2022 that actually stuck up for their candidates. They were getting attacked on social media, so I got to know about over 40 of them.
Yeah.
To this day, most of them I still talk to.
Well,
right?
that's very nice.
You know, and it's like you guys, right? Promoting you guys. This is all about mass media. You know, and then it's funny, people don't realize the world watches our elections. And
Do they?
I got a lot.
So I'll learn a lot from you on
I got a
this.
lot of friends from being in the armed forces.
Okay.
And they write me in different languages, like, "What's with your media? Why don't you promote?" You have people. They see the website. They get asked actually when they go like for the mayor. They go, "You got 30." Well, back then it was 30 people. They go like, "Where's 2 people that are being promoted? Where's the rest of them?"
Right.
Isn't your city proud of the people running in your city to make the city better? I said no. It's it's a namesake, and that's the big deal. The media controls. I shouldn't say it, but the media. Mainstream media only promotes what's
what they like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's right. And it's not just for elections; it's for any other
exactly.
topic in general. That's right.
Yeah, and that has to change. That has to change. Yeah.
So that's again part of the democratic process. So people would say to me, "Well, you don't have really a chance to win. Why are you doing it? There's 100 and some candidates. Why are we don't need more candidates?" And it's like, no. Everybody's entitled to a voice. We need to encourage this kind of thing.
Exactly.
And sure, it's a little bit of effort for people to go through the whole process. But last election, I went through everybody's platform if they posted something, and I looked at it and I thought, okay,
all the mayor candidates.
Yeah. So if there was somebody I supported, I wouldn't bother running. I'd just support them.
Nice, yeah.
But I didn't find anybody.
Well, you didn't like my campaign?
Bill.
You just put yourself in that one right there. Yeah.
I liked your face.
That's it. You don't like my platform?
No.
Okay, we'll edit that part.
I'm sure that, you know what? No, that's the thing, though. I present myself as a centrist candidate, so I would be pretty certain that I would have common ground with a lot of the other candidates, whether they were some on the left or some on the right. So Phil, yes, you're a nice guy. I know you care about stuff. I care about stuff too. So I am sure. I didn't check your prior website.
Oh, you're good.
You
Good
had.
save, huh?
I don't know if you.
I'm sorry. You just hung it. You just put
there. But I'm sure we would have common ground on a lot of things, and maybe even today we can discuss what those things are. Because you're not just a host; you're a voter, right?
Yeah,
and you
right.
represent people who think like you.
That's right.
And, yeah, we can. You give me the hard questions, and I don't have a problem with the hard questions. So
how many times do you go to the gym a week?
3. Well, included. So I play
See how fast you answer that?
I play hockey or go to the gym 3 times a week.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're a fit guy.
Yeah, thanks.
See, the picture is deceiving, right? Right?
Yeah.
And I saw you were in 2 debates last time, right?
Yes, I was. That's correct.
The one at the church.
Yeah, and the one at the hall up in.
We didn't discuss this off camera, but I'll say it right now. If you're going to conduct a debate in a church, the last one you did, what I didn't like was I'm Catholic myself.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, now the Catholic churches come down now. You cannot rent the hall for anything but church functions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They've changed that, yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah. I don't think this was a Roman Catholic church.
No, it was different. It was
I think it was an evangelical.
the guy that run the debate.
Yeah.
So the part of the, as you remember the debate, there's a part you do a prayer, right? You guys,
no.
They did a prayer at the beginning of the debate.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I saw the beginning. And so me as a Catholic, and I'm not sure what denomination you're.
Presbyterian.
Yeah, so that's your business, right?
Yeah.
So when you come to a church, you cannot,
You can't ignore the fact that it's a church.
And also the fact that people have different denominations.
True.
So the part I didn't like about the debate, any church function other than Catholic in the future, please consider when you have a debate, so any candidate or presenting, you got to consider that, you're a different faith, whatever, and you have faith. So you can't say, let's sit down, like at the beginning, we're doing a prayer at the beginning. And I sat there going, wait a minute. I know she's Hindu and I know she's Muslim, so why are you making them pray? You have to ask their permission to join in on their way of praying. Okay. That's what I didn't like about it.
Okay. That's fascinating.
I said it.
Being a religious person myself,
first thing
I would have picked up on that.
First thing I started being a priest. First thing I teach is don't force yourself on anybody.
Right. Yes.
And that's with any debates, otherwise, you know. You have people, see people at the park, like the lady we talked earlier. She says, "Let's pray with me together." Like Michael, pray with me. I have to ask your permission. You can't just presume.
Right. Yeah.
And I always tell people that. Before I used to get away. Now I say, "Excuse me, you need to ask my permission because I'm a different denomination, but I'll pay the same goal and all." Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? Just being accommodating for everybody.
Right. Yeah. I share that view, but I also think to myself,
you're gonna do a butt on me? After all
that
spiel?
It was very good, but
he's debating me, right?
No, it's not a but, it's and. Okay. And what you said, and when people if somebody were to approach me to do that sort of thing,
Yeah.
I always look at it that even if it's not what I would do, I know they're wishing me well.
Yeah, I can look at it that way. Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of how I look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah.
So, just to add on to what you
You're
just
good at
said.
saving things, eh?
Thank you.
Very crafty guy. I'm kidding. So let's talk about your platform. Let's go on your platform.
Yeah, okay.
And you remember it all, right?
Well, I'll try.
I bugged him in the beginning. I said,
Yeah.
I've been through your whole platform. I read everything.
When people look at my website, they will see that I've written a lot of material because I've tried to cover off every issue, large or small, that I've seen in Toronto or that's come up over the last 5 years. And I just can't help myself in terms of thinking, okay, well, how would I approach that? Not just because I'm running for mayor, but before that, like how I want somebody else to address that issue. And again, just because I'm a natural problem solver.
First thing when I read your
just the way I
platform, I said he's a writer.
I'm a bit of a writer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good writer.
And I'm
Good
not,
writer too.
I'm
Very
not
good
a
writer.
talker, except Phil, you're going to bring out the talker in me.
Me?
That's what I
No,
can
no,
say.
no.
So if you look at my website, you'll see I've written all that stuff. So as far as the main, I try to limit it. So I've got 6 main issues. That
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talk
6.
about. And I think
Yeah.
there are 6 issues that I think are the most common ones coming up.
Yeah.
So just to run through them quickly. So it's housing affordability, it's traffic, it's transit, it's homelessness, it's
Correct.
financial condition of the city, and the last 6 one, the first time I ran, I made it Parks and Rec, but I've changed that now to customer service. I believe the city needs to take more of a customer service approach to all of its operations. The residents and our clients, and the city. I'm just going to talk about this because I've already segued into it. So let's talk about that one. So, when you go to the dentist or use any service now with social media and emails, you get inundated. How did we do today? Da 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 da.
Oh, the old surveys and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it gets a little boring, but the city doesn't do any of that.
Yeah.
And when the city does things like spending money in a ward, so I know in my ward, some projects got.
What ward are you in?
14.
14.
Yeah. So some projects got approved by the city and put through. Okay, whether there was a small art installation in a parkette or Bidasage Park, which is a $1.6 billion project, or the Leslie Street Lookout, or fixing sidewalks, or a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Nobody asks the residents beforehand, what are the things that you want done in your riding that are going to cost money?
Yeah, lack of consultation with the public.
They do it after.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah, they do.
I mean, I went to the one, so now, in my ward in particular, it's the Portlands project, right? And then the other one that's going to affect us too, and some people, I've already seen some postings from some ward candidates about this, of course, is the fact that there's no off-ramp to the Gardner down onto the lake shore.
Yes.
So when they did that whole redevelopment, they took it out and they never put it back. And I would have sworn that off-ramp was part of the plan. I found out since, because I went to a community council.
You talking about the ramp that comes up from DBP going over
So
the curves?
when you're, so you know where the curve is, the Don Valley to the Gardner, right?
Yeah.
So it used to be when you were coming east, you had the Don ramp.
They took that away. Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay,
Yeah.
no, I remembered the plan. Oh no,
Yeah.
the plan was to put the ramp in. I don't know, I must misremembered.
Yeah.
But no, there's no ramp. Now I found out subsequently, because I was at a town hall meeting, as they call them, to talk about the Portlands development. Okay, and then I found out, oh wait, no, what the plan now is, again, nobody asked the residents about this, is so that, the first part of the Gardner after the Don Valley, before or after the Don Valley, it's got a bit of a curve to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what they want to do is they want to move it, the whole Gardner.
Yes. They want to move it
north.
Yes, exactly.
Because that will free up some space for development.
Yes. What development?
Well, no, it'll be apartments.
Yeah,
of course it will.
Still.
But wait a sec. Why weren't we told this before? Because I don't remember that being part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ask people,
No.
the people who are affected to this day? And not having a ramp, so I have to drive all the way up to Poor and get off there because I live around there, or go down Jarvis, and that ramp sometimes it's just chaos, whatever. But again, this is like, well, what do the people want? Do the people want a whole bunch? No, the residents, the existing residents, want ease of access, which is what they had before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The city is responsible for improving services, not making them worse, which is what the city of Toronto does. Because the city of Toronto doesn't really say, okay, I'm going to ask the people what they want. Okay, and this is another thing that's really important for me. The way I see the city spending money all these years is they think it's their money. It's not their money. It's your money.
It's their money. That's right.
Your money, my money. They have a stewardship role in terms of how they spend it. And again, I take that very, very seriously. And you not just have to spend it wisely to provide the most services for the most number of people, but you can't waste it. Okay? So, and I segue from one thing to the other. Let's just go back to the customer service.
We'll go back to your
service. I just want to finish on the customer
sure.
service. So the way, again, I just believe there needs to be far more consultation before things are spent to ask the citizens. Okay? So the process will be, okay, well, I've got money for something, whether it's Parks and Rec, or whether it's streets, or whether it's this, fine. Okay, where do you see the money needs to be spent?
Yeah.
The city can certainly, provide some examples of things that they've identified and cost them out. But in the end, what needs to happen is the people say, okay, this is what we want. This is where we see the puddles and potholes.
Go back to customer service.
Yeah.
Question they ask in panels: how many people, when the city officials, who lives here? If you're going to consult, you need to have experience living it. Lived experience.
That's right. Yeah.
You're just assuming or not. Yeah. You're planning what you see, not what you live in.
And it's got to be the people who
and
live
the people
close
live
by.
You know,
it's not people from far away.
And you're the best. You're the best contributors. You're the best advisors.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. It's their money. So again, then you finalize some list and you cost it out, and then you say, look, I've got $1 million, but I got a $2 million list. Okay, so you, the citizens, have to now prioritize. Okay, where do you want the money spent? And then you spend the money, and that's how it should be done. That's how you do your family finances, right? Yeah, sure, we want to spend a whole ton of money on this, that, and the other thing, but we only have this amount of money, and so we say, okay, well, how do I prioritize that? Where to go? That's the way I think things should work.
I think when the council put forward motions and it goes to city management, do you think it's a little outdated in some aspects? I mean, these people have been doing this for many. This is my thing. They've been for many years. I'll give you examples. The Kennedy Hotel, when they extended the hotel for another 5 years of shelters.
Oh, okay.
And and then they had one of the councilors there, and he was getting quite upset with the people that are doing deputations. And point blank, he said, well, what else are we going to do? We had no other choice. And it's back to city management. Whereas, I'm not putting them down, but you still have the same ideas. You're going to keep it. Well, now they changed that finally. They're not going to They're not going to do 5 years. They're going to go back to the owner, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that you're going to have another 5 years, if you see what's going on in the area since then.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that area directly.
Asian Court Mall is now a ghost town. Stores are shut down, the break-ins and all.
Okay.
Not blame the shelter, but just the experience and the lack of coordination on it. It goes back to consultation, like customer service, right?
Yeah. No. I appreciate that. So yeah, customer service. So what else would be customer service? Just when you I've got a little thing that I'm doing with respect to Moss Park Arena, which is where I play hockey. There's a little bit of an issue there. Apparently they're closing it down. That's the rumor. Well, where's the communication? Yeah. So I sent an email, and first of all, I dialed 311. 311 said phone this department. This department said no, phone. And I said no, phone. It's this person. So I phoned them. Their voice message said, no, as of such and such a date, you can't call me anymore. It was a person. Call 311. So I called 311 back again. So I got the person's email this time. So I sent them an email. Will I get a response? No idea. No idea. That's not good. And this is the thing, there's nowhere that you can register your satisfaction or dissatisfaction with any service provided by the city.
Customer service.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to inundate, because I get annoyed when I get inundated with all these emails. Like, how did we do today? Well, I was there, 6 months ago. It's not going to change much.
Yeah.
Don't do that. We're not going to do that. But that's the way the city needs to start thinking, both at council, mayor's office, and the city administration. So, again, they can do it. There's no, people care. Again, I will always say people
even the
care.
customers are with deputations,
Yeah.
when you're sitting there doing a deputation, they're not listening to you, or they're like, they've already made up their mind. So people think, well, why am I doing this deputation? This is an English guy. He sits there every time we have a deputation. He goes, I'm wasting my time. He says, I know you've already made up your mind. You're wasting all our time. And they said, no, we want to hear you out. But they've already made up their mind. Yeah, that's customer service right there. Yeah,
that's right. That's part of democracy.
Yeah.
That does bother me a lot too. So again, that's why running for mayor is the one time I get to say something a little different about certain things.
So let's go back to. Are you finished customer service?
Yeah, we're done.
So go back to number one.
Okay, so number one is housing affordability.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't for me.
You said earlier about the back then we had rooming houses and all that.
Oh yeah.
We had places people put them, right?
Yeah, we had lots of places.
And we both know shelters are not the answer.
No, I don't like shelters at all.
You know, planning on building more shelters in the next 20 years is not going to go anywhere.
No. People need an address.
Yeah, and dignity needs,
Yeah. Well, it's
respect.
Yeah, that's right. And so, all right. So I'm going to break the housing situation, as it were, into 4 groups. Okay, so we can talk about them just to sort of, because everyone's going to be a little different. Some of them are going to be really complicated. So there's, last time I looked, there's about 10,000 homeless people in Toronto. That means people in shelters and camping out. Now, Toronto, in the city of Toronto, I have noticed that the encampment situation has improved dramatically since it got really bad during the COVID lockdown. Okay, but still, 10,000 people. I live close to downtown. I walk. I drive when I have to, but I'm a walker and I'm a TTCer. I like them both. So I'm out and about, particularly downtown. But even as you've just indicated, there are places in the outer parts of the city that also have similar problems, right, with homelessness, etc. So that's one group, 10,000 homeless. Then there are the people who have an affordability issue. They're not homeless, but they're either living in Toronto community housing, okay, or they've applied to Toronto community housing, or they would meet the criteria for the 30% of your income, right? But they're not living, and they're not in there. They're not going to bother. They're saying, I want to live where I want to live, and if it costs me 40% of my income, that's important to me. I'm making that choice. So that's probably this is, think of some numbers for a second here. I try to avoid them, but being an accountant, it's hard not to. So there are 3 million people living in the city of Toronto proper. Okay, that's about 1 million households. So that would be houses and apartments, or apartments/condos. But for simplicity, I'll call them apartments. So I think about at least 500 or 600,000 are houses, single-family dwellings, and the rest are apartments, etc. So I'm estimating there's about 200,000 households that are either in Toronto community housing, because I think Toronto community housing is about maybe 60,000 households. I think there's the waiting list. I saw something that said 80,000 on the waiting list.
It's like 10 to 15 year wait.
Exactly. So 60 and 80, so that's 140,000 households, and there's probably, I don't know, I'm going to say another 60,000 who would qualify.
You sound like an accountant.
They just, that's a good thing.
I like that.
They don't even bother applying for that, because they don't want to live in the housing, and they want the freedom, whatever. So that's like 200,000 out of 1 million households are really struggling. And then, and that's not even all of it. So then you get people who are working, okay? Again, I'll skip that for a second. I'll come to the people like me. I've been in the housing market, and I'm retired. I don't have any problems with housing. And there's a lot of people, there's hundreds of thousands of people like me. Okay, so then there's the people in between me and the people who are paying a high percent of their income in rent. These people, they're working, okay? Some of them are in good jobs, some of them not so good jobs, but they are able to, spend, say 30% of their income. But still, I know that if you do work out the numbers, that the cost of housing has increased in the city of Toronto far more than incomes have. So, yeah, they can survive, as it were, but you need 2 incomes. You don't get the option.
That's a must now, right?
Yeah, you have to. You don't get the option of if somebody wants to, stay home and raise their family or that sort of thing. It just creates a lot of pressure. So, when people talk about how the cost of affordability of housing, it's not just about the homeless. It's not just about the social housing people. It's about everybody. Okay. Now, I look back at the city of Toronto back in the 80s, how easy it was even to find housing at a reasonable price, and it's gotten worse and worse. Well, actually, up until say the 90s, it wasn't too bad, but then since about the late 90s, it's just taken off astronomically. You know, it's gone up and up and up and up and up. The cost of houses, I think, is about gone up sixfold. I think the cost of rent has gone up about fivefold, but I think the incomes have only gone up about, based on my calculation, about 3.5 times.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that when something as large as the cost of housing takes up such a large portion of your income, people think, oh, well, inflation's been 2% a year. Well, yeah, but if you've been saving for a house and the house price of housing goes up 10%, your inflation rate is not 2% a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more than that. So I look at what's caused that?
We said the numbers it's gone up. So that's when I think of that, what you said, reflection of the city's, that city council all those years, what has been done to bring that down?
Well, so this is the thing. So there are market forces at play here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's a question of supply and demand.
Yes.
Absolutely. Everybody acknowledges
Sure.
that. But as you've read from my campaign platform, what you'll see is everybody and his uncle, like the group think, as I call it, says, oh, it's supply, supply, supply. We just have to build more houses.
Yes.
Or housing, well, actually, not even houses. Now it's apartments. It's not building houses anymore because there's no more land.
Yeah.
You have to live in an apartment. Whether you want to or not, that's the only accommodation you're going to get. And then that just pushes the market price up for everybody else. So as soon as you move, if you want to move somewhere in the city because you want to or you have to, you're going to have to pay more because you won't have rent control on when you move to a new place.
Yeah.
So it is so I'm taking the position that you will never be able to reduce the price of housing across the board, not just government housing, but for everybody, the working people as well, and homeless are completely ignored, despite what people say. You'll never get there. This is too much demand. So I'm taking the position that it's time to start looking at housing on affordability from a demand perspective.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, we have to reduce the demand. Okay. Now that's highly controversial because all we've ever been told is we have to grow. We have to grow the economy. We have to grow, which means we have to grow the number of people, and there are other reasons we may or may want that sort of growth. Okay. And I'm saying there is such a thing, and it's a new concept I want to introduce to people. It's not just my concept, because you can Google this and you can look at it on AI and you'll see that there is such a thing as the optimal size of a large city.
Okay, I've read that.
Right. And I thought of this and then I double checked it. I said, well, I can't be the only one who thinks about this. And sure enough, when I Googled it, yeah, there is. It's out there. Okay? It's a thing. Nobody talks about it. Just like a family.
I typed that word in, you know where it came from?
Which?
Where we're still in the regional Louise, Aquinas, Aquinas, kind of thing. Thomas Aquinas.
Thomas Aquinas, yeah.
What's the other guy? Aristotle.
Yes.
That word, auto, you know that word there.
Optimal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was thinking
okay.
way back. I'm looking at I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Okay,
right. That's probably from my accounting background somewhere.
What he's doing? Is he putting some history in here? He's trying to fool me?
No.
You can't fool me. I do my history, buddy.
Yeah.
But misquoting some famous philosopher.
No, that's
good.
probably
That's
from
good,
my
yeah.
accounting
I saw it
background.
right away.
And again, that's my accounting, my works.
Yeah.
It's like, I just, again, having been here for so long, I'm like, well, wait a second. I've been here for so long, and the only thing that changes in the city of Toronto is the number of people in Toronto and in the GTA.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can talk about the economic growth side of it. Okay.
Yeah.
But in terms of it, just being able to address the fact that yes, we have to acknowledge that is the single largest reason for the unaffordability issue we have. And again, we have to acknowledge you'll never solve it by trying to increase the supply. Okay? People now.
So you're saying
so we have
more housing will not
no,
solve it?
never. Well, look at it this way. We've built in the city of Toronto since the 80s 300,000 housing units.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Well, what's the price of housing? Like I said, it's 6 times greater than it was.
Well, they make the calculations, and I was talking, I don't know if you or somebody earlier about, they're not taking the fact that as more immigrants are coming in, other factors like natural disasters, refugees. That's
All kinds
increasing.
of stuff.
This is increasing our population demand.
Yeah.
The housing's not there. Well, I'll ask you a
Well,
question.
but it never will be there because
No.
where do people want to live?
Yeah, exactly.
People want nice single-family housing
Yeah.
if they can get it. And again, in my day, that was like,
Yeah, it was no problem.
of
Yeah,
course,
back in
no
your day,
problem.
yeah.
You had an apartment at a cheap price. You got married. Again, back to the economics of getting married
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
You save the money, put down your down
And
payment,
you get a choice of where you want to live.
and
right?
you get a choice. You don't have to live.
Yeah.
I know people coming to Toronto from Keswick, from Peterborough, from Kitchener-Waterloo, from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what are they saying?
Well, look at what's that in terms of quality of life? Yeah, you can get an affordable home, but if you live here,
You ain't gonna get. Yeah, right.
you're driving. So again, everything impacts the quality of life. So it's not just the affordability that that also impacts the traffic congestion, okay, and the TTC crowding, and the homelessness, and everything else.
You said earlier that the you made a comment that the homes are ignored.
They are ignored.
Yeah. So why'd you say that?
Well, because one stat. So the shelter number of people in the shelter. There's one stat from my website. I do remember.
Yep.
Is I think in 1998 I found that there were about 5,000 people in the homeless shelter. Now it's 10, and we didn't have encampments in those days, and now we have encampments. So I go out bird watching, and there are people in
Are you
parks.
bird watcher?
Yeah.
Which of your bird?
Pardon me.
Which your bird?
Which?
Your favorite bird?
Oh, I don't know. They're all favorites.
Yeah?
You can't. I don't pick favorites.
I like the robins.
Do you?
And the Cardinals and Blue Jays.
I like the ones that have the nice musical.
Like the
Song.
like the Cardinals.
Oh no, there are some other ones.
Oh, I know.
that are-
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so no favorite birds. No, Phil, you've just thrown me off.
No, actually, no. I've got you on track. Let's go back to your term, data. You talk about that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Let's
that's
talk about that.
the homelessness. Okay, so there are 5,000 now. There's 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and so people always when I say people, I mean advocates. Okay, of this policy or that candidate, whatever. People love citing the homelessness as a problem. But when the city puts money into housing, city money, it's not for the homeless. It's more social housing. So these are not homeless people. These are just people on the waiting list that you talked about.
And they're not homeless.
That does not address the homeless
No,
problem.
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly. Unless
Right.
you have a lottery, like they do in the.
So again, the homelessness needs to be addressed because they're people. I care about people. You care about people.
Let me ask you point blank,
We all
Mr.
care.
Michael.
Yeah.
What would you do for the homeless if you were mayor?
So
How would you get them off the streets?
I'll segue into this. Okay. So
You got little segues. I don't see your license, buddy.
yeah. That's right.
How would you?
I haven't seen one of those in a
No,
long time,
no,
right?
I
Remember,
know.
they used to be popular down
Now
the harbor front,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now it's
Have you been on one
electric
yourself?
scooters.
Have you done one yourself? You been on one? No. What would you do?
Okay. First of all, you have to analyze the situation properly. And sometimes it's simple, but sometimes it's a bit complicated. Or you got to divide it into buckets. So as far as homelessness is concerned, and I'm talking people out in the campus and people in the shelter. So there's not one homogeneous. These are not. So you do have some elderly ones who are just they don't have the money, they can't afford anymore. You have some young ones in the sim. These are people who are functional. Okay, maybe even some of them have a little bit of work. Okay, so those are one segment. Okay, but then I'll come to how I want to address them. But what I'm saying is there's going to be different solutions for each type. Okay, then of course you're going to have a lot of mental health addiction issues. So it's kind of a homelessness addiction issue at the same time. Okay? So the addiction, mental health issues, probably the most complicated issue we as a city have to deal with. Because there are laws in place today that will restrict, I think, what part of the solution needs to be. Okay? All right, so I'll come to the complicated part. Let's just deal with the easy part. So, as I mentioned to you off camera, people are entitled to an address. People need an address. So, to build an apartment, so there's some limitations here. Okay, a lot of it will come down to money. A lot of it comes down to money and the support services in the case of some of these homeless people that I think are going to be a challenge. To build an apartment in the city of Toronto today is $500,000.
Just one apartment.
Just one apartment.
We're not talking building here, right? Just apartment.
Let's just build one apartment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have 10,000, and then you've got, so that's 500,000. So that's going to be $5 billion.
For how many people?
For the 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just to build the place. These are people with, they're on social services, so they're only going to pay a third of their income, 30%. So that's $300. The operating costs of that alone are far more than that. So then you have your operating costs. Okay. If it was a very small number, I'd advocate for that. But we have to find cheaper solutions for that. We are way past the time, as I mentioned at one point, where in the 70s, when we needed social housing, the city went and bought a house. Well, we're way past that. That's not happening. So the problems just become so large. So we have to find alternate solutions. So not everybody is sociable. In other words, really able to live with other people.
Yeah.
And you talk to some of these folks and you can tell, right, that if they want to, fine, that's good. I'm a big advocate for rooming houses. We have been closing rooming houses. We've been gentrifying all these neighborhoods, which in a way I don't think is a bad thing, but we've just gone far beyond where we need to be. Okay, so we need to preserve rooming houses. I don't mind the city actually looking at buying houses as long as they're being used for rooming houses, not single-family houses. So you have to divide them up because, again, one of the issues, and I'm sympathetic to this, is people in some neighborhoods, and I've already had emails in this regard, don't want certain types of social housing situations.
Just reading this morning, one of the new candidates. I haven't interviewed him yet, but he just took a stand that they don't want to. He doesn't put a shelter in his ward. He doesn't plan to put one in his ward. It's already been decided. So he's took a stand. He's getting a lot of flack for that. Yeah. It's going to be like what's the old turd not in my backyard thing, Yeah. So he took a stand on it. So people are attacking him and saying that the city already decided they've done the consultation. So what's your problem? So I don't know if he's going to try to get garner more votes because like anytime you're trying to garner votes, you're trying to do favors like say I'm going to remove bike lanes and all that stuff.
That's right. Yeah. So I got an email request like that. It was a downtown ward, not mine, and the person said, it's shelter's going up, and I looked into it because I just don't flip off an answer until I checked it out. And the organization running this shelter is a reputable organization. They've got services, etc. planned. There is social housing near me. There's social housing near everybody in this city. And again, I think you have to give them a chance to do that sort of thing. So, smaller's better. I'm not talking, 400 people in the middle of a place here. Yeah. I believe, certain categories of people require less supervision or support services. Okay, and again, so you could have them in your neighborhood in a shelter. You may not even notice, right? Again, there has to be that sort of a careful management of where you put them, how many people, and who you put where, like together. As it were. Be careful about that. But yeah, everybody has to bear the pain. This is something we all have to have in every ward.
Well, like you said earlier,
this is the tough side of being
certain types of people go in different types of shelters, right? Yeah. Like you can't make certain groups.
Oh,
whereas
right.
shelter's been in the different wards now. Right. You've heard the news going on, fighting going on about this, but that kind of group, like say let's say mental health, like people with different age brackets, certain types will go on certain blend with the neighborhood. Yeah. And that's the thing. They're stereotyping. When you wear a shelter, it's a not derogatory, but people say you think of drug addiction, mental health, shelters. It's like a dirty word sometimes.
Well, across from. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, across from.
And I didn't segue.
Yeah. So across from Moss Park Arena is the Arthur Meehan
right.
Salvation Army shelter. Yeah. And so that's hardcore, and that's probably unfortunate. That's the face of shelters, right?
It is that. Yeah.
Okay. But
have you ever been down there yourself, Mike?
I've not been in it.
Yeah.
No, I've talked to people.
Yeah, they're good. A lot of good people to talk to. Yeah, great talk.
So you can talk to.
Yeah.
You can talk to I do talk to people. Well, all right, I don't want to segue into something. We'll come back to that. No. So let's talk about the addiction and mental health side of things.
Okay.
Sorry, before we go into that segment. So yeah, I believe in rooming houses. I believe, again, for certain people that we can use underused office buildings can be converted.
That was in my platform, exactly.
Not to full apartments, though.
No.
Okay.
There are a lot of empty buildings.
But to I would call it similar to a rooming house concept.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a floor in an office tower, or the whole tower, like, and again, not a 40-story one, a low-rise one, up to maybe 10. So you can maybe fit what I will call rooming units. So imagine an office, okay, an office floor. So you have your central elevators, you have your washrooms off to the side, you have a lunchroom somewhere, and then you just have a whole bunch of offices around.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you could easily, in other words, inexpensively convert that into like a rooming house, except it's a rooming office. And you can give people space on that. So what you would do is you'd give them a bedroom, a living room, and a bit of a dry kitchen. Because
they've done this in Los Angeles. They've done this.
The washrooms would still be the same because the plumbing's a problem. You have the electrical, you got the HVAC.
Yeah.
That's no problem. The plumbing is centralized already around the core towers, and so you make that some sort of communal kitchen like you would in a rooming house. Communal bathroom facilities. Okay, and again, you don't have too many people on the floor for that, but you know, and again, these would be gender specific, so you can have 2 men's instead of men's and women's. And then where the office kitchen would be, that would be like a communal kitchen. Okay, and you can convert that easily for 1/10 of the cost per person, as it would be to try to find them a full apartment. Okay, and again, but you have to be selective on who goes in there. So these are people who have to be able to live on their own and get along with each other, because that's what they're doing. Okay, so that's one segment. Then you get into more challenging housing situations. So these are people with addiction and mental health. Okay, now if it's again, this is an area where I think the city needs to take the lead, because these are in some ways provincial jurisdictions, more or less. Okay, but the city, this is one thing that's always bothered me about the city. The city has to take leadership. Nobody else wants to take the risk on some of these sort of things, and nobody wants to spend the money. But I firmly believe that if you can, and we already have some programs in place, I just think we need to sort of just step up and say, look, okay, we believe in this, the value of this program, we're going to expand it, our money, and it's going to be successful,
more
and
programs,
then the province will go, oh, hey, I can get votes if I support that, and then they kick in the money. But the city has to take the leadership. We have to spend the money, but we have to find the money. So that's why the finances is going to be a key part of this whole thing. Everything's tied together.
So if you ran for mayor, if you were a mayor,
I am running for mayor. Phil, that's a good idea.
Sorry, so you seg me up.
I am the mayor. I am the mayor.
Don't get tough on me with your handshakes. No, I'm just saying, so you're mayor. My goal, as me as a runner, my goal is to get people off the street. I don't care what's there, as long as it's warm, it's livable, and it's dignity, right? So you're mayor. The winter's coming. We have our winters coming up, and you saw last winter. How many people died on the streets?
Actually, you didn't hear about it that much.
Oh, you never heard?
Compared to other years? Compared to other years, you hear it a lot.
You gotta talk to the people on the streets. That's what you gotta do, Mike. I'm not thinking that, but it's saying, quite a number. It's not in the news. It's not talked about. A few mentioned,
That's surprising that it wasn't in the news, but
no, it's not. They don't. The news.
It used to be. It used to be all the time, right? That was how they got the attention.
That's right. So what would you do? You would do occupy.
So here's. Go ahead. Finish your.
So what would you do, Mike, to get these people off the streets?
So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we have a Streets to Home program. This is one of the programs the city already operates that I believe needs more
funding
expansion. But it's not just the people who go out and about and finding people and saying, okay, try to get you off the street into a home. You got to have somewhere for them to go. So you got to build the facilities first of all. Okay, and again, you sort out the people to put them in the right kind of facility. So again, this
you're talking like converting old different buildings into
buildings or rooming houses and that sort of thing. And again, first thing I would do is absolutely stop any conversion of a rooming house into anything else.
That's right.
You gotta stop. And sorry, Phil, I get so upset when I think about how the city has continually said, "Oh, there's a problem, there's a problem, there's a problem," and yet they don't do anything to actually stop the problem from getting worse.
Yeah.
You know we have a homeless problem, but then why do you allow rooming houses to be converted?
Well, this is
why do you
this
allow
is my
this?
thing about the going back to the other thing about the incumbents. I mean, you got these people running over, keep running and running and running,
Right.
and you said earlier the thing's gone up. I asked you earlier, has anything gone down to bring those numbers down? Nothing. I mean, look at
Absolutely nothing.
the photo ops promises. We got this. We just built 76 units for the seniors. Yeah, what about the other 120,000?
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
it's nice to be proud of something, but you know.
I'm going to do my end of campaign pitch right now.
Now?
Yeah. Just
I haven't
because-
cued you yet.
No, you haven't.
You
But
haven't got
I just want to. No, it's
Go ahead.
it's good.
It's your
So,
interview.
this is the thing, Toronto. If remember, you get what you vote for, as Phil's kind of talking about. If you vote for the same incumbents who've got us into this mess, you know that if you continue to vote for them, you just get more of the same problems that we already have. So
Exactly.
that's
That's good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Exactly. You feel better now?
prompted me.
It gets tense. You can't see it. Yeah.
So where were we?
But
Phil?
I'm glad you're getting mad. I like to see that.
Yeah, no,
You know
I'm
why?
passionate. I'm a very calm
No, I'm like
person,
that.
but this
You're-
is this.
You're calm. You shook my hand. Look at this.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
It's blue.
it's
Bruce. It's Bruce.
it's true. But I'm saying that your reaction, what we're talking about, is exactly what's missing in any election.
Think so?
No,
Oh,
you watch
I worry
news.
people
Yeah, 'cause
hear me ranting and like,
The news ain't going to show some angry candidate going on about housing or
No.
some distraught residents, as all these new candidates like yourself you've seen. They're doing social media videos,
Yeah.
and it's got the incumbents' word because I did this thing in the video. I said all the new candidates, you're doing something the other candidates have not done in the past, and they're still doing the old platform. I don't want to say it in public because I don't want them copying you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
and I want them, and they're nervous. And what you just said, exactly one example there. They don't do this in media. You know, they're not going to interview me and say I'm happy with the stats and all. They want to neutral. Well, look at well, you went to the FIFA, right?
Yes.
So did you see?
Well,
any,
I didn't actually go. I just watched it on TV. So
Okay,
I can't
so
afford. I can't afford that. If I'm
But you're
mayor,
an
you're not
accountant.
going to see me. You're not going to see me going to any
But you're
expensive
an
sports
accountant. You can
event.
afford all this stuff.
No. Phil.
See, I'm stereotyping
The
your work
reason
by the accountant, eh?
you
Yeah,
can, I don't mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's a good thing. Everybody has a little bit of an accountant. in
That's why you have to shake
Phil.
my hand.
I hope so. Oh, I'm going to hear about this forever.
I'm bugging
am
you.
I not?
I'm strong, guys.
So,
Right.
yeah,
You're
no,
good.
this
you
is
got
this
it.
is just a sign
Yeah.
of my fiscal responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't spend my money on stuff that it's just it doesn't
Do you think
make sense.
Do you think we needed it?
I liked watching it, but it could have been anywhere, and most of the games were somewhere else.
Yeah. And FIFA
yeah,
controls everything.
yeah,
Well,
you
look
know,
at the whole water bottle fiasco thing.
yeah,
You
no,
know, like right.
do we need it? No, we don't need a lot of the stuff.
There are
the
other
city
priorities
does.
for the
Exactly,
city.
there
You
are a
know?
lot of priorities.
Who
That's
we want to do
correct.
spend,
And I'm still
Well,
going to see.
and you couldn't afford it, right?
No, that's
you couldn't
right.
afford the
No,
tickets. you
that's
know,
right. I couldn't afford the tickets.
Just like
And I
we
could have
kick-
gone to Fan Fest, but you know what?
Yeah.
I just like watching it with my friends,
Yeah.
or at a local. But we couldn't even
Yeah.
find a local bar. I think they were
They're
kind
all-
of full or
yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
or whatever. People enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it as a World Cup.
Yeah.
I thought the last four were really good games.
Yeah.
We segue again.
That's all right. No, but let's go. But so, as a mayor, there's 100 people down the road there that are all in the cold in the streets.
Right. So, so you got to have somewhere for them to go, and you need
Yeah.
options because not all of them will want to live together with other people.
Well,
so
no,
that's
that's
why
true.
one of the ideas is, and again, I just happened to have come across this one day, seeing. So, if you're ever down by the lake shore, the film district, okay?
You talking down before the Gardner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you have the studios there on
So
Lake? Yeah.
So
The
Lake
big-
Shore.
yeah,
Okay. So there's
okay.
there's two streets
Yeah.
that go off of it down to Commissioners.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was down there.
Are you
one
talking
day.
off Eastern Avenue there and all? Yeah.
Yeah, south of
South of
Lakeshore even.
Okay. South of Lake? No, north of Lakeshore. Be north of Lake. I think. Yeah.
No, it's between Lakeshore and Commissioners.
Yeah. It's
There are
north
two
of,
streets. So there's
it's
like,
north of Lakeshore.
there's the
Yeah.
No, south of Lakeshore. It's north of Commissioners. There's two streets, Bichette
Yeah.
or Bouchette.
Because Eastern's above, and then you got the two
So
studios.
it's Eastern, then Lakeshore,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then-
Commissioners.
and there's.
Oh, on the lake.
Come I bike down Lakeshore, I see the two movie studios there.
Yeah, right.
But that's north of Lakeshore. just right there.
But there's some. Well, it's called the district, but just south of where Mayfair,
Okay,
and then the
yeah.
baseball diamonds. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm not
there-
putting you on the spot.
Yeah. So there's two streets.
I know you live here.
So there's
yeah.
two streets.
Commissioner Street, yeah.
So
yeah.
have you ever gone by and noticed? Wait a sec. Those streets are both lined with camper vans.
Yes.
You ever notice that?
Yes.
I used to think those were part of the film
No,
industry
no,
stuff.
no.
That's people living there.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
If people are happy to live in a camper van,
Yeah.
city
yeah.
city neglects them, by the way.
The
Okay,
camper
but-
vans?
Yeah, they just let them go, right? Because they're not bothering anybody,
Yeah.
and it's true. They're out of the way. They're just like, well, wait a second. Those things. I looked up how much one of those costs. You can get to use one of those between $25,000 and $50,000.
Yes.
It's a fraction of the $500,000.
So you're just going to buy camper trails for everybody?
Anybody who wants them.
Really?
The problem is that's the easy part. It's like, where am I going to put them?
Yeah, where are you going to hook
That's
them
the
up?
problem. This is one of the other problems with the city.
like a
is where,
camp, yeah.
where well, I need space to do this, and this, but they keep giving it away to people to develop.
Yeah.
But we need space
You do. Yeah.
for stuff
Yeah.
that the city needs. But no, we're going to develop it. We're going to develop every square inch of this city has to be developed within an inch of its life field. Did you know that?
Yes, I know.
I
I see enough signs in Scarborough. Well, look what they did.
disagree.
I mentioned this in all my interviews. Victoria Park subway station. The parking lot's gone.
Yeah.
Why did you have to do that?
Exactly.
You want to increase ridership?
Yes, exactly.
So
Phil.
now I can't go to Kenny because there's no parking there right now.
Yeah,
So I
'cause
gotta
it's
go.
being-
I gotta go Warden.
How long
So
does that
some
take?
days, from where I live, 20 minutes. Where I used to go to Victoria Park, 10 minutes. So now I get frustrated. If I gotta go to a meeting like an emergency or I gotta be there in time, not trusting this TTC. Sometimes it breaks down as they do all the time when I take
Yes,
it.
that's right.
I'll drive down. I couldn't be
Yeah,
bothered.
that's
And then
right.
you may get mad because I'm using gas and I'm not being
No,
on it. You
no,
know,
it makes-
this is the reality.
Right, there's a
right?
place for cars. I mean,
Exactly, and
again,
there is a lot. And we talked
and
about
we're not
the,
even into cars
yeah,
yet. We'll
yeah,
talk about that.
Yeah. So yeah, what's going on? So we
Okay.
go back to your platform.
All right. So again, you need people to have options. Some people want to live on their own
Yeah,
outdoors,
yeah.
and again, this all has to be done on a voluntary basis first.
Yeah.
So you have to make it attractive. You have to give them options, but at the same time, you have to be firm and say, look, these are your options. Where you are now, either living in a park, isn't an option.
No.
I mean, you can live in a shelter if you want to, but nobody's going to want to. People are going to want some sort of
Yeah.
more self-contained.
I like the word options. Don't force.
Yeah,
you
no,
have to, you can't-
exactly.
Never force
Yeah, right.
people.
But again, not in parks anymore. They've
No.
got to come out of
Yeah,
there.
they have. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And again, there are rules with these things. You can't go trashing it because if you trash your place, you're going down a notch on the
On the list.
on
But
the
not kicked
list,
out.
on the scale.
Yeah.
No,
But not
you
kicked
got to
out.
go somewhere. But
Somewhere else,
But
yeah.
what's the worst? I don't know what the worst case scenario is, but this is where we're limited. As a city, the laws prevent us from doing certain things. Okay, so if somebody actually wants to, so this is a bad news. What if somebody just wants to live on the street? Period.
Well, they're used to it.
They're used to.
Yeah,
They're on their own. I mean, I'm hopeful that they would want to live in
I've
at
talked to
least
many
a
people. I
camper.
don't want to live in shelters full of drugs
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
that. And
They'd
not
want to live in a
safe.
camper
Yeah,
van. But
they
the
feel
problem
safer
is-
living on their own.
The
Yeah.
problem with that is where do you put them? Because
Yeah.
if they're too far away from where they need to be
Yeah.
because of their friends or the support services they need to go,
Yeah.
so that's a problem. But again, we're using up all that space. So again, one thing that really bothers me is with the Portland's development. That's a prime piece of land that the city could be using for homeless people.
And you know, there's no consultation for that.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
they
made
tell
it
you
up, yeah.
after, oh,
Oh,
here's
yeah,
the
yeah,
development.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
40 to 60,000 people going in there.
Yeah.
Did you ask the neighbors what
Did you
kind
see
of suggestion
did
they
you see
want there?
did you see their maps where they got planned? They
Yes,
wanna-
I've seen
they
it
wanna
all.
put- They want to line Lakeshore with condos.
I know. It's
You
already
know?
bad enough
I
as
mean,
it is.
you know, you drive in the Gardner back then. It was
Oh,
nice
you
and
can
bright.
see the lake.
Now you go in the Gardner.
It's Condo Canyon
It's like
is
suddenly
what I call it.
it's
Yeah.
like becomes like a dark like the
That's
tunnel,
right.
right? You drive like what the
Yeah.
crap? Oh, there's bloody condos there.
That's right.
You
I
know.
know. And then they complain, oh, the gardener's there. Well, so again, this is just another reason why I just think that we back to our optimal city size again. So if you look it up, and again, I've been here when the city was 3 million, like the current. Okay, sorry, 2 million. Back in the 80s, it was 2 million people in the current size of the city. We're 3 million now. Okay, the area around it was only 1 million, and now it's 4 million.
4 million, yeah.
So we've gone from 3 million to 7 million. The optimal size of a city is between 2 and 5. So we've already gone past it. And I would say the city of Toronto's optimal size was 3 million people.
It's increasing too, man.
And we're still increasing.
Yeah.
So this is an issue, and I've already had pushback on this when I talk about this with other folks, but I'll come to my response to that. So why I say it's not 5 million is because we have a lake south of us, and so you can't build south of us. So that just means more people sort of in the other half, as it were. So that's why I'm saying 3 million. And I lived here when we were 3 million people. And as I talked to you earlier, it was great.
Yeah.
Affordable, drivable, transitable, walkable, blah, 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 blah. Livable, higher quality of life than it is today. Okay. So,
do you remember the old days of the gardener? We used to pick my mom up and you go around the garden before you get on the DVP, all those old oil drums, remember? Fields of oil drums there, that's where they store the gas, all the oil.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
I don't
So
quite
it was
remember.
before your time?
Was before 82?
Oh yeah, we before 82.
Okay, yeah. No, I've only been here since 82.
Oh, you're just a pup. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm a young guy compared to you, Phil.
Wait, but you're older than me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Just a couple.
Oh, you had to point
just
that
4
out.
years.
You had to point that out.
No, but you look good. 4 years older than me, not much. Yeah, not
Yeah.
difference. Yeah, we're in the same generation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what's what.
So let's go into your second platform.
Okay.
Are you finished with the first one?
Yeah, well, I could talk about it forever, but again, all these details are kind of flushed out more
on your
webpage.
website.
Yeah, Michael Lamoureux.
And by the way, it's well written. You're,
Thank you.
You're,
Okay.
you're a good writer.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Appreciate that. Again, good bedtime reading if you've got insomnia. So traffic. So we're already talking about traffic. The gardener again.
So
that's a direct.
So
function.
any candidate, candidate says they're going to solve traffic. I tell you, stop making these promises unless you got some sort of. No, I'm not talking. I'm just saying general.
Oh yeah, no.
Just saying,
So well, first of all, it's
people,
like there's
the last by-election, you had some of the celebrity candidates that they're walking through traffic and Lakeshore. We're going to solve traffic. I said, first of all, you're making an offense walking in traffic, interviewing people.
Yeah, well, there was one fellow who rollerbladed onto the gardener. I remember that one.
Yeah. So I make a joke. The best way to solve traffic, homeschool everybody. Because you notice when school's off, there's less traffic.
No,
Is that
you're
right?
absolutely right. Yeah, you don't drive anywhere until after 9.
And then you got empty schools.
Everybody's.
Then you got a place to put the people on the streets. We solved the problem right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Schools are owned by the government or the city.
That's right.
So we just solved two. And I'm not even running.
Why not, Phil? You should
I'm
be.
teasing now.
We would have a very good discussion.
I took a break just because, Mom, I was dealing with mom's death and all. Yeah. So people know about that.
Family
so
first.
Yeah.
Family first. Traffic. So again, traffic is just a direct function of the number of people.
Well, I went to my interview with Ajax. They saw Mr. Malcolm Barrican.
Yeah, I didn't realize you're going far afield. That's
yeah,
nice.
he's first. Yeah, he's running for Ward 1 first time. So on the way back from, I got off at White's on the back on the highway, all the way to Westney. There's some sort of accident. It was backed up. That's usually on the west end when you see it go in the morning. It's all the way backed up, almost Victoria Park. I was like, holy! It wasn't even moving. Like I was moving fast.
Right.
Speed limit, but nothing was moving. You don't see any cars moving the whole time. It was just nuts. That's just backed up traffic. You couldn't get out of there.
And there's no escape. That's the problem. There's no escape. Yeah.
You know?
So you just remind me one other thing I'm going to talk about before.
Are you segueing? Is that the word I can use now?
Up. No, I'm backing
now you're
up.
backing
I'm backing up.
Okay.
I'm backing up. I'm backtracking.
Okay.
So the question comes up, Michael, you want to stop the growth of the city, but you don't have any authority on that because that's a federal issue. Absolutely correct. So one thing I can do as part of a pushback strategy. So this has to come from the people voting for me, saying we support Michael's proposal that we put a pause on population growth for whatever period of time, probably forever, but that's fine, in order to let everything adjust back to affordable levels. Okay? So part of my pushback strategy is to say, look, it's not just me talking about this. I mean this. The federal government is now going to have to listen if I say, look, I'm not building any more apartment towers in the city anymore. No, we're not doing that. We've time out. We've reached our limit. If you, the federal government, needs more people, okay, have them in Ottawa. Let Ottawa grow to a 7 million people city. London, Ontario, Kitchener-Waterloo, Timmins. I single out Timmins.
Timmins?
Yeah. You know why? You can buy a single-family home. Go on the MLS listings for Timmins. You can buy a single-family home, same as you could here in Scarborough, but instead of paying 1 point something million, you're paying $300,000 in Timmins. You know that? And they think that's expensive because I know.
Oh, really?
I talk to people because it keeps going up.
Yeah.
It's like, why Toronto? You want fine. You can grow just somewhere else, non-Toronto. Because again, the supply.
So you're saying you would stop an influx of immigrants or people coming to the city by stopping or telling the
I mean, this is the problem we're in.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. Where's my growth coming from?
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of having to say no, you can't come.
Well, it's true because
But
you know.
what am I like?
Look at the ones that came from Africa. I mean, they're all living on the streets. They're all. This was in the news.
Right.
And
who's gonna? And the people who are gonna benefit the most. People say, no, you're against this. No, I'm not.
No.
Because half the people in Toronto are from somewhere else. I'm from somewhere else.
No.
Right? I'm not from Toronto. The people trying to get to Toronto from other parts of Canada, they won't bother. My daughter won't come back to the city. She can't afford it.
No.
So, again,
your daughter lives where?
Halifax.
Halifax.
And even they have the same sort of a problem.
Yeah.
Because again, there's geographical limitations and,
Yeah.
and whatever. So they've got a housing problem as well, affordability problem. Because it's a nice place to live. So a lot of people are moving. So this is what happens. The more demand, it will always be. The more people you have want to live somewhere, you can build as many houses as you want, but the pressure will always be to increase the price.
Yeah.
Because the amount of nice places that people want that are close to where they want to be is finite.
Yeah.
And you'll always be driving up the price.
Yep.
And that's just reality. So there isn't a choice. So if you say, okay, our goal is to have more people because that's our priority, fine. You can have that.
Yeah, where you can put them.
But don't complain that there's an affordability problem because you've said this is priority one, this is priority two. So this goes to something else I talk about on my campaign, and this bugs me personally. Is like people say this is a priority, and then this is a priority, and that's right. You can't have 12 priorities. And what does a priority mean? Priority means is I get this done first, and if I then move to the second, and then I move to the third, it's like that spending priority, right? They can't all be priorities. And if this is your priority, and you can't have that, but you can have that, then you have to be happy with that situation because you said
So
that's
you
my
say they can't all
priority.
be equal priorities, right?
No, you can't.
One's over
because
the other.
you can't have it all. Like, okay, let's just go back to traffic. There's just no way you're going to get everybody out of their cars. I mean, I don't like cars. I tell you why I don't like cars. They're noisy. They're dangerous. They're unsafe. They pollute. They contribute to crime and as getaway cars.
Yep.
They take up space. Yada yada yada. I don't like cars. I walk. I transit. But you know what? Cars have one incredibly redeeming value. They're convenient, like crazy. They can get you from door to door. They can get you there pretty fast. They can accommodate multiple people in a climate controlled without a lot of other, people near you that you don't want to be near, that sort of thing. And so, yeah, you're never going to overcome that.
Hey, do you have this vision of all these people having segways?
Well,
right?
They can all have
So now
scooters.
Mike's,
With
Mike's, everybody has
Mike
segways.
bikes, yeah,
I'm using the word segway.
Segway.
So now, when you're robbing a bank, you don't use your car, you're using a Segway.
Yeah, that's not going to
I'm
happen.
just visualizing.
Oh, I'm sure
people running
someone's,
around.
I'm sure
The
someone's
cops
done it.
There's cops chasing
Yeah,
this Segway, you know?
they can-
All got one speed. You're under arrest.
That's right.
Can't catch up.
Yeah, no,
You know? Like a
and,
Flintstones.
and then your battery runs out.
Your back. Yeah.
And like, okay, I gotta run now. So, yeah, no. You're never getting rid of cars. I mean, we've maxed out, again, the number of people who are gonna cycle to work.
Yeah.
Okay, I cycle. My son cycles to work. My daughter cycles where she is. A lot of people cycle, but people understand. But they're typically also drivers, or they understand. I understand driving. I mean, I drive. So we've maxed out the number of people who will cycle. And
Well, let's talk about that. It's in your platform.
Okay, yeah.
We got I'm a part of a bunch of bike groups myself. I'm a biker. I've done my biked around the world.
You're a cyclist.
I'm a bicyclist. I bike too
unless
much.
unless you're a motorcyclist.
No. I gave it a bad leg. So, anyways,
right. So again,
would you? Well, you said one of the candidates are going to remove all the bike lanes. What do you think about that? You think that's feasible, or that's realistic, or what?
So again, I state this quite explicitly because we're just never going to get rid of the demand for cars.
Yeah.
It's not fair. So this is my approach. People had 2 or 3 lanes on arterial roads to drive their cars. And we've had that ever since the car was around, right? Okay. So then the city comes along and says, I'm taking this lane that you used to have access to.
Yeah.
I'm taking something away from you, and I'm making it into a bike lane.
A parking lane too.
Or parking.
Yeah.
That's right. So if I take something away from you, Phil, that you previously had use of, would you expect something back from me in return for that?
Yeah.
Of course you would.
And what do you give?
Nothing.
Yeah.
We get absolutely nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
We took away something they had. So, that's not fair. Okay, and again, so
You're talking about, like, for example, the Danforth,
well, the bike
University.
So here's
Irvine.
here's the thing. I'm thinking that you should have on an arterial roads 2 lanes free of traffic.
Yeah.
Because that's what we used to have. Something has to give. I don't mind the bike lane there.
Well, they have like
because you need some bike.
Eglinton's got the,
It's
most of them just like one lane, like one, not a whole park.
And there is enough room on some of the roads, like Danforth. You can have 2 lanes of traffic and a bike lane. Yeah. That's not a problem. Yeah. And some of the other roads are like that. Like, anyway. But then something's got to go. Well, that's the parking. And I know.
You mean the parking? It's silly. Who came up with this idea? Really? It's not just. Not just the major roads. I've gone down side roads in Toronto. I was like, what's this parking lane?
Yeah, right in the middle of the road.
There's a parking garage right there, right? By the way, and you know, so we have enough parking garages in the city. Yeah, we got green signs everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. I think so. Well, that's another problem in the city. The city's taking away parking lots and moving them over to development, and they're talking even more of them to be developed.
Victoria Park subway, Kennedy, you know,
stop that.
They want to build in put in housing there, or not buildings there.
No,
that's going to
stop.
complete
Stop.
the.
Stop.
You know?
Gotta stop.
See, the only thing they won't touch is like Finch Station. There's it's close to the aerial wire or the hydropower wires, right?
Okay.
So they won't touch that area. They will never put anything up. I don't think they will. It'd be kind of silly putting it.
I'm trying to picture it. I can't picture it.
The Finch parking lot. It's Finch Station. It's a long parking.
I don't park
it goes
up
all the way to Willowdale.
Oh, okay.
From Young.
Oh, okay.
So the
I just come out of the subway when I'm up there and just walk down Young Street.
So
I don't look at
it.
it.
It's a big property.
Right.
It's a big high. But they talked about it. You can't be there. You can't take it away. First of all, not just parking because it's a safety hazard too, right? That's right. So that's one area that's safe.
That's right. No, that's good. But again, you're taking them away here, there, and everywhere. No, we need to keep all that again. So, I'll just say this. I'll just get out of the way. The city's run today and has been for many decades by people sympathetic to the development industry. Exactly. It has driven a lot of what happens in the city of Toronto. Yeah. Okay. And that time has come and had its day. Now we need to move on away from that. Yeah. Again, we've reached optimal size. We're way past optimal size. That's got to stop.
I mean, these developers, they don't care about parking. They don't care.
No, they don't care about it. They just want and they don't live in these little condos that they're building. Yeah. They don't live there. They live in a nice single-family house somewhere that everybody else.
You mean the 500 square units? You've been them, right? Downtown.
Yeah.
I got tons of friends of these. Like, why you guys out? They're all outside on the streets, socialized. Like, why don't you go to your condo? Then I go to see the condo. Okay, now I see why you're leaving this place.
No, that's right. I mean, exactly. It's not fair to people. And try to raise a family in one of those?
No.
Yeah.
They talked about in the news about the trying to build more apartments with 3 bedrooms like the old days.
Where's the place?
The best buildings are the old ones. Like we had an old building like my mom lived there. We had a 2-bedroom. Her bedroom is humongous. Like,
you
could put my friend's condo in her bedroom. Like seriously.
We live on Bathurst and St. Clair.
That's
and
an old area too.
Yeah, the walk-ups there. Yeah, no elevators. We had to walk, but we were young. But it was huge space. Yeah, tiny kitchen, but the rest of it.
I got a buddy on Dundas there. I think it was Dundas. Not Dundas. Parliament. I think it was Parliament. You walk to his apartment. It's an apartment, and it's got 2 ways. One big living room. You got one there. You got a bedroom, and a kitchen, and the bathroom. And this side you got a walk-in closet and a bedroom and kitchen. Yeah. I've never seen anything like that. a split apartment like that.
Yeah.
It's humongous.
Yeah. So again, you just tweaked on something, and I'll just touch upon it. So imagine for a moment
Do I get points for all these tweaks I'm giving you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except the other money under the table. Think what will happen. because people tend not to think about the future. They either dwell too much in the past or they think
just
about
the
today.
days,
Yeah, that's right. So think about what Toronto will be like in the future. What if we kept growing the way we're growing?
Yeah.
What will the city look like then?
With the traffic right now,
Traffic will be bad. The transit, we're 30 years behind on transit almost all the time. And then you get affordability problems. And so what happens is you'll end up with half the city is going to be these huge apartment towers. And then you have all these little rich enclaves that nobody will be able to afford except people who've,
like yourself.
Yeah, like me. Who are already there or inherit money or whatever like that, and then like what kind of a city is that?
Well, it's like
I don't get it.
Well, they're pushing the poor out, or not to the poor.
Well,
the low-income families.
That's right, and then then your taxes will go up. It's.
I'm glad you're passionate about that. It's nice to see.
It's just how will it ever end? It's like I call it in my website. A population Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, we need more people to support the people who were here before, and then we need more people to support the people. But and it's like, it can't go on forever, because then we'll have nothing, no houses, just all these 20, 30, 40 stories apartments. Now, of course, that's 200 years from now, but there's never going to be a shortage of people that want to come to Toronto. Well, maybe there will be, because it will be so bad. It won't be different from anywhere else. But we've been blessed. Absolutely blessed.
So far.
And we're just like, we're too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like a family.
Yeah.
Like, you plan how many children you have, and you say, okay, I don't want to have any more babies. I can't afford any more babies. I have no more space for any more. And you just say, no, there's a limit. It's perfectly natural. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why.
Like in China, they have one limit. That's true.
That's not the best example I want to use, Phil. That wasn't my choice.
That was a limit. That was, I don't know. Well, you're saying limit, right?
Well, yeah, but you choose.
Yeah.
You choose for yourself. You and your wife choose how many, right? It's like I can't tell my wife how many children to have. She says I don't want to have any more. I'm not gonna. Easy for me to tell her to have one. Yeah. So the same for us. It's the same idea. Everything has a limit.
Yeah. So let's go into your number 3.
Traffic. The idea is that so that something's got to go with the parking lanes. I'm all in favor of bike lanes on a few places or on side streets. And again, this is where I have to give and take. It wouldn't be right for me to say, oh no, cyclists are bad and you can't have any bike lanes. I have to give them some. Like Dundas in my neighborhood, East is highly used. So
for bikes.
Okay. It's amazing how many people use that. But others, like on Eastern, and Danforth gets a lot of use too, and there's space there. So I'm okay with some places, just not, not University, not Young. Again, on other arterial roads.
Like, would you remove the parking lanes? Just keep the bike lanes.
Well, again, as long as there's 2 lanes of, as you can have 2 lanes of traffic.
Like
so
Woodbine.
The parking.
Yeah.
Well, Woodbine doesn't have 2 lanes. They would have to go on.
Woodbine used to have 2 lanes.
Yeah, it'd have to go. They'd go. Yeah. And in some cases, both of them don't.
Yeah.
It's because sometimes if the parking is there as well, so they squeeze one little lane. No. So
Go ahead.
People either can park around the corner, or people park if they have laneway parking. I'd be in favor. I mean, my neighborhood didn't used to have laneways. Yeah. The city, way long ago, put them in. I guess when cars started becoming common. And so I'm not against putting in laneways in some neighborhoods. That's city expense if they don't already have them. But in the downtown core, of course, this isn't much of an issue out here, right? Because people have driveways and stuff. So I don't have a problem with also people parking in their front lawn. Okay.
Front lawn.
Well,
technical there.
But of course, in my neighborhood it's a bit hilly, so sometimes it's.
You're talking about taking up
steep.
Removing the grass, making a lane, like a lot of people use that right now.
Well, no, they're front parking pad, so you have to get a permit now.
You need extend the parking, right?
Well, no, just to be able to park in your front yard.
You mean on the grass?
Well, you convert it to a driveway.
Well, yeah. So the rules, there's a couple neighbors that I dinged for that.
Yeah.
They get permits. They didn't. See, one guy did it. One neighbor did it. I think up in McNichol. This whole neighbor. I went there.
They asked me I thought they would already have had parking on their yards.
Some of them
already.
don't get permits. They just get the contractor to dig up, and then some reports. What happened? This neighborhood must have been 13 houses in the McNichol area.
Yeah.
And one guy did it. So then they all did it with the same contractor.
Okay.
But I came in and they go, I said, did you get a permit? Some are rather than I don't want to say we're rather, but they all
No,
got they
people
got
have to
held
get people. There's a distinction between permission and permit. So right now, there's no you won't get permission, let alone permit.
And
So
also
I'm saying
is the,
you have automatic permission.
Yeah.
With stipulated rules, like
Yeah.
if it's a small tree in your yard, I'm okay with taking down a small tree. You can replace it. A big tree, yeah, okay.
But also
I'm
according to
sympathetic
the,
that. But you'll get the permit.
Yeah, and also according to the city, what I was told, if you're gonna make it, so you get your house there, you get your door with it, you get your parking, your regular, you want to extend that parking over. That's called a, what their term they use, but that's a safety hazard right there. You have in case for a fire or anything going on for accessibility to that house. That door has to be accessible for anything.
Yeah.
You can't put a car there. No, that's one of the rules. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Phil.
See, I'm not.
So we'd have to. I'd look at that again. I can't. If I don't know something, I'm not going to give you a glib answer without investigating. So I don't know exactly what I would do.
I put you on the spot. You know why? Because I want to. You're an honest guy. You don't know the answer. You're not going to pretend you know it. Like you just said here. You know the answer. I'd like to give you information. Is you giving me information about the segues? Yeah. And that's a good mayor.
Thank you.
When you be a good mayor, you humble yourself. Like you don't know the answer, I'll find the answer, right? And look into it. So, have you people ask you like the last election, like, can you get back to me about something, or do you know any information? Can you?
If somebody emails me, I will always respond to them. They may not. I'll be honest.
And you return all phone calls?
Yeah. Not that I'm getting hundreds, but yes, I return calls. Not the advertising ones. I don't.
No. Oh, you mean the? Did you get inundated with all the?
I mean, way more than last time. I don't quite know why, but anyway.
And I get
so.
I get them
I
also.
I will investigate. If I don't know, I will investigate it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll do it. I'll be honest. I mean, I don't. It's very important for me to be absolutely clear on what my position is on things, because I don't want somebody to say, well, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
I want it absolutely clear. I want people to vote for me because they agree on my approach. They agree more or less on my policies. You can't please all the people all the time, right? And again, I'm not trying to go for the candidates who are already going to vote for the front runners right now, so Olivia and Brad, whatever. I'm not trying to get there. I'm trying to get the other 70% who don't vote because they don't think there's any point, because they're not being offered anything different.
Let's discuss
so
this.
This is where
the last two elections. Mine by-election and the fun. In the by-elections, 29% turnout. Yeah, the last two by-elections, right?
That's right.
And that's something. When you jump up and down and say you got elected, re-elected, it's nothing to be proud of.
No,
I wouldn't be.
No, that's right.
You're boasting about. I got the whole city, convincing me. Like I said, 79% ain't going to vote.
No, that's right.
So why is that?
Those are bad, and I think they're just disillusioned. I mean, some people are always apathetic. You're always going to get that, but a lot of people, it's the same old. It's the same old, and they're absolutely right.
Hear recognition. I know like 5 incumbents. I know them well, and they're good people. But as soon as you see the name, what have they done the last 8 years? What have you done? You said earlier that growth has gone up. What have those people done before us?
No,
councils.
They just let it go. They let it go. There's a permissiveness, right? Yeah. And I get it. It's a career for them. They're afraid of upsetting people. I've been controversial in my place of business. So I'm not afraid of that because, again, I think through what I'm saying very, very carefully. Yeah. And it's a give and take process. So if I'm going to do something for that you're not going to like, I will try my best to at least offer you something that you will like in exchange. That's fair to me. And again, that's just the way
I'm going to go into your platform. Talk about fiscal responsibility.
Yes.
You're an accountant.
Yep.
And I believe firmly the city should be audited, should be made public where the money's gone. You as an accountant, would you hire a third party? I would not hire
the city.
The city has their own, but I would not hire. Right. We both know have
again, it depends. I don't believe you always have to reinvent the wheel sometimes. I think we just have to make use of what we have.
You should think it should be public knowledge where their money goes.
Well, yes and yes.
Well,
but the question is if
two weeks ago they made the announcement the most candidates have the most expensive accounts, right?
Okay, yes.
So we saw that, right? Okay. So the question is now people want to break it down. How they do that? 1.5 million on this count. Yeah. I mean, that's their business. I have no say why they did it, how they did it. I want to give them. But people want to know the details. Why did they do that? So back to city
Yeah.
misspending.
So that's
know.
a drop in the bucket. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's fair, yes. Just as we have to publicly disclose what our campaign finance
Exactly,
spending
that's
is.
public
Okay,
knowledge.
that's
So
right.
that's public knowledge.
That's right. So it should
be
the same
public knowledge
level.
for city
Yeah.
funding, city funding.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I would agree with that. I do.
But would you bring a third
believe-
party? Would you?
No. Again, that's going to be an expense. I just don't think it's worth it. Let the public pressure of having it visible be enough of an incentive to keep it.
Yeah.
And if people are misusing the rules or bending the rules, then change the rules.
Exactly.
What
You
was
think
the,
it should be
What was
fined?
the what was the it was the hotel scandal? That was
Which one?
provincial, right?
Oh, you mean the one for the during the COVID?
No, well, no. People, was it provincially? They were going to hotels, but they.
Oh,
were
you mean
riding-
the Dougie's babies?
Yeah,
his buddies
that's
there.
right. Like,
Oh,
right. So just
yeah.
stop that rule.
You mean the?
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? Cho? The guy Cho?
Yeah, he was one of them. There were a bunch that actually got
Yeah.
flagged for it, but
First he was going to give the money, then he resigned. I mean, he was. So let's baby boss.
Again,
As long as you continue doing the same thing over and over.
I only mention it in passing
but
because I don't really want to
yeah.
get into provincial or federal politics or anything other than
Yeah.
municipal politics. But just as an example, where just change the rules because I think that's
Change
what's
the rules,
happened
exactly, yeah.
retroactively. And again, I encountered expense spending in my professional career,
Yeah.
and sometimes I had to crack down on it. And I'm going, that's not appropriate. No. So again, be fair. Make the rules clear and strict at the beginning, so
Yeah.
everybody knows
So
what the rules are.
don't you put your picture in manhole covers?
Well, you can paint them yourself if you want, I suppose. But anyway, again, I don't want to be pedantic about stuff. That's
Yeah.
one thing. Even as an accountant, I can be very detailed, but I don't want to be
I think we
pedantic.
should be.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I
To
don't.
a degree.
Yeah, we strict, but I don't want to micromanage stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Though, as mayor, I would definitely spend more of my time talking to people, either citizens or city department people, and working with them to try and solve these problems. You'll see me out and about in the course of my business. I'm not going to spend a lot of time just cutting ribbons and making speeches.
Put shovels in the ground and all that stuff?
That's not what I'm doing.
That's like a norm now, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. You know what? Photo opportunities. No, I have enough confidence that in 4 years' time, that I will have done enough. You will have seen the results, and you will know who's responsible for them. That you will continue to support me and vote for me next election time, without having seen my face.
Let's go to your number 4 platform.
Okay, so I have to do this in order. So.
I like your brain analyzer.
yeah, okay. The transit, we'll say it's transit. We haven't talked about transit yet, so
Are you sure it's number?
say
Are you sure it's number 4?
No, it's number 3.
Okay.
Homelessness is number 4,
I'm
but we already
testing you.
talked about that.
See, I knew my homework.
You did, thank you, Phil.
You're
So
welcome.
we're going to talk about transit. So again, we have a traffic problem, we have a transportation problem.
Yeah.
Okay, if we have any hope of improving the traffic flow in the city, we need to give people a good alternative, because as we talked about before, there's so many reasons why a car is so much more desirable as a mode of transportation.
Well, let's
than
talk about 2 examples
anything else.
just before we get in. One example is Sunday service.
Okay.
We start late and we end early, right? We could extend that, I think. I
Yeah,
mean, they say they
absolutely we
do
can.
maintenance and we do the hours for maintenance and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'd look at
most
it.
subways, most subways around the world they run theirs more than us. It's almost
Yeah.
24 hours,
Yeah,
right?
No, that's fair. Yeah, I'm all in favor
And the
of
second one is when they ever have a holiday. I've talked to you before many times.
they go to Sunday service.
The most busiest time of Christmas. Christmas Day, you're gonna get
Yeah.
more people taking the subway. Why do you have a Sunday service? It's like a rush hour service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I would look at the numbers and say, okay, well, what's the demand?
You increase,
So-
and you increase people taking
And
the
for like
subways.
yeah,
Increase the
for like FIFA. Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh, let's
they
not
did
go
it-
with FIFA.
They did increase
You had
demand.
to pick FIFA, didn't
They
you?
did increase demand,
Yeah.
but it was most recent and
Yeah.
relevant. But I've heard that there were not nearly enough
No. Well, yeah.
delivery and.
So let's say
whatever.
Christmas. So you increase the demand of taking public transport,
Yeah.
right? And not holiday service, regular service.
Yeah.
That affects the businesses. Profit goes back in the
Well,
city.
no one should be open on Christmas Day.
Hmm?
Nobody should be open on Christmas Day. It's a holiday.
Why you say that?
It's a holiday. It's
I
an
know, but
official
some
holiday.
are essentials.
Well, yeah.
Like Shoppers Drug Mart.
Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. Are you talking about as a religious aspect why you shouldn't be able to Christmas? I agree with that. I do agree. Yeah, I do agree with that.
No,
You shouldn't be able to
because
yeah.
because
some have to be open 24 hours.
provincially legislated, it is a
Yeah,
holiday.
but their movie theaters are open.
And I don't want to
places-
force people to work though.
No.
That's the other thing too, right? It's fine to say we need we need again. My daughter, works as a nurse, as shift work.
They work Christmas days, right?
Yeah, but you want to minimize the number of people that have to work. To be fair, because people want to spend time with their family. Yeah, they alternate or based on seniority, whatever.
And on days they work on Christmas Day, they go shopping, get groceries because the stores are open. They go. Yeah, but other days,
you can. People will work with what they have to. So if you don't have the grocery store open on a certain day, they know enough to go shopping the day before.
Okay. Well, it's like Labor Day, right? Simple Day, not too much, but Labor Day, one coming up there, what we got? Thanksgiving weekend,
Yeah, I don't have direct control over that because that's provincial.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a council.
In terms of, you mean transit?
Yeah, transit.
So again, transit should be based on the demand level.
Yeah.
Whether it's a
holiday,
or whether it's
and I've taken it many times during
special
holidays,
events.
and
we heard about the fiasco up at the what did they call that place? The Rogers Stadium up at Downsview when they had the concerts there, and what a fiasco that was. They couldn't get people in and out of there. Oh yeah, it was just a disaster.
I like when they always say we're going to do some
service.
further studies.
Yeah, this is back to a customer service.
Further studies.
So anyway, that leads me to my main thing with transit is that if we want to encourage people to get out of their cars and take alternate transportation, it isn't going to be bicycle, it's going to be transit. You have to provide them something that is attractive. Okay, so one of the things is price, cost. So I want to make parking expensive, and I want to make transit free.
Okay, now I know you're going to get challenged on that.
Absolutely, sure I should be challenged on that.
So I'm going to challenge you. How are you going to make that free, buddy?
So, first of all, now...
You know how I say buddy?
Yeah, that's nice.
So when you squeeze my hand next time, you'll be more gentle, right?
You're a gentleman, Phil. You're a gentleman. And a scholar. I'll say that. Yeah. So, let's remember one thing.
You want me to quote some Latin or not?
You're the language guy, not
I know.
me. Right now, the city operating funds already half the cost of the TTC.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the total cost is $3 billion. We're already paying.
Have you taken I took the LRT the first time last week.
Yep.
Going for the interviews. I was like, I shake my head like these guys just an incredible job. We complain about the delay, sure, right? But the amount of digging these guys did, going from 3 escalators up to the main floor.
No, it was good. But that's common in places. Yeah, it had to be.
Not enough thank yous for these guys. All that stuff.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but the LRT,
But here's my thing on that, because it's still related to
You're going to
transit.
attack the LRT after I just defended it?
Well, I'm going to step up for Scarborough here.
Okay,
yes.
Let's talk about that.
Scarborough, again, I'm not...
We're going to have 3 stops.
I'm not... I'm a whole city guy.
Yeah.
But from time to time, I will mention...
You looked at the maps, right?
Pockets of the city.
Right?
Yeah. No, but it's...
So those 3 stops from Scarborough going from what? McCowan down back to Kennedy?
Yeah.
So with that distance, if you take the Ontario line, that covers at least 12 stations right there. Yeah. Or less. I'm just saying.
So this is my thing. Toronto has to stop being cheap. When it's trying to deliver services...
And they keep talking about the proposed Chapter 9.
Critical services, we have to stop being cheap. Okay? And we have to stop going cap in hand to other governments saying, you have to pay us because, why is somebody in Thunder Bay or Ottawa wanting to fund out of their provincial tax dollars transit in the city of Toronto?
Exactly, yeah.
We're the users, we have to pay for it. I mean, I just have to be upfront about that. So we have to find ways to pay for it. And it's going to cost, right? But as long as you can deliver the value in terms of saving people time and delivering a good product, okay, that's what it costs, right?
So how are you going to make TTC free?
Okay, free. So, I'm sorry, I just want to finish on Scarborough for a second. See, I don't want to gloss over Scarborough.
I'm focused on
Scarborough gets glossed over. I'll just go back to the Scarborough LRT.
Yeah.
What a disaster that
was.
Oh,
please.
You should always have subways underground. And again, it was just the city being cheap. And you paid for that. I mean, the line
Luckily,
was
fine. Not too many people got injured like that.
But think of how, if they had built that as a subway, you wouldn't have that whole fiasco. Which direction's the line? Over there now? Or is it still Scarborough line?
Okay.
You wouldn't have that whole kerfuffle now where you've got to bus people, etc. It's just being cheap. And that's part of the problem now with the LRT. They built it above ground.
Yeah.
Sure, it's not on an elevated, so it'll last longer, but still. why did the East End get a subway underground and not Scarborough?
Yeah, yeah.
And why didn't it go all the
All
way,
the way,
right
yeah.
through the zoo?
Yeah. Yeah. The zoo.
Right? Why not? Again, just being cheap, whatever, and the people in the East End are getting a little bit of a shaft. Now, I can't rebuild that, but everything else that I could, every subway has to be underground. We're way past the city size where streetcars are a viable option. I love the streetcars. I absolutely
You wanna keep them?
love them. I have no choice but to replace them with subways. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be completed in my lifetime. It's a 30-year project, but we have to do that again.
But all the money spent on the St. Clair, the money spent on the St. Clair streetcar line there.
And they get maintained. They get replaced every 10
the
years.
amount of time it took to build that, the amount of business suffered.
Oh, the Eglinton.
No,
St. Clair.
St. Clair,
Okay, yeah. But that was even way before.
Yeah, but I'm saying that all this investment in streetcars.
Yeah. So I have it penciled out where I think we need subway lines on Dufferin and Eglinton and more out in Scarborough. And some of these are already planned, but no, not LRTs, underground subways, and a few other places as well. If we want any hope of getting people out of cars and making traffic congestion reduced. So again, we want a lot of stuff. We've set ourselves up for the problems that we're in today. We set ourselves up. So now we're going to have to pay for it. And at least I will. Yes, I'm going to charge for it, and we'll talk about that. But at least I'll be giving you something in return for the money that in terms of an improvement on quality of life. Because you'll either be able to drive somewhere because everybody's taking the subway, or you'll be able to take the subway and get there faster and more reliable, free, cleaner, whatever. So, okay, how am I going to pay for that? So if we don't have to, here's another thing that really bothers me about the transit. I take transit a lot, subways, streetcars, buses. TTC knows this is an issue, is people who skip out on the fares.
Oh yeah, well
that's 10 to 20% of the people.
Well, I took the LRT the first time. I didn't read all the instructions, so I get on the train. I go, "Where's the Presto box?"
That's right. Yeah.
So the guy says,
"It's on the outside."
Yeah, they go.
I know.
So,
I looked at it carefully to figure it out.
The guy says, "Don't worry, everybody does it. Just don't worry, it'll do it." I say, "No, my luck. They'll have a security guard at the next station waiting for me." So I got off the train and I pressed the button.
That's right.
But I guess it
That's
happens all the time.
And I see the constables
and
too.
There was no on the train. There's no.
That's right.
Unless they're undercover.
This is the problem. So we got to make things simple. Because the cost of trying to police stuff like that is horrendous.
You think the city is to blame for many of the, well, for example, 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years, they said they lost $60 million in
lost fares.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my question is, why did you wait till 60 million to make that announcement? It's just,
I agree.
How do you feel about the province taking over the TTC?
The what?
The province taking over the TTC?
No, I don't. I would fight that.
Yeah, why?
Well, because the TTC, and I know some TTC employees, had good experience building subways. The problem was city council dithered
for what?
To building them.
Yeah.
That was the problem, because they didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
So it's city council's fault. City council can't blame the province for taking over because they weren't doing their job.
Yeah.
So again, I would be, take the lead in terms of doing a good job, and then convincing the province that we can control this and do it, and
they didn't just make the announcement haphazardly. They looked into what was going on. It looked, like you said, the city council not the last 4 years, the last how many years?
It's 30 years.
Yeah, so they're saying this is enough's enough. You're not running it.
No, exactly.
You keep putting a board member up from city council. They're not doing their job. I'm not saying I'm not here to criticize them, but just from the province point of view, and then they're trying to now vote it against it on city council. The decision's already made, right? So how would you fight that, Mayor?
Well, again, you just have to demonstrate competency in order for the other party to have trust, and then they'll go, okay, we trust you, and we'll give it back to you. Because why do they need the headache? I'll give them the credit. I don't mind. Whatever. So again, we have to come up with a master plan for building subways, replacing streetcars, and giving service where it is. It should be fast. I do have one little complaint about the LRT, though, the Eglinton one. Too many stops in a couple of places.
Yeah.
Because if you compare it to the Danforth line and the Bloor line,
Yeah.
they're a little too crowded in
Yeah.
a couple of places, not everywhere, but a couple.
The biggest complaint I heard from people is the French.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I
I'm
know.
sitting there going, people going, I take the line 6 or line 4 or 3. There's no French on that. So because you hear it all, it's
That's
like
the first.
It's like,
that was one of the first thing I noticed when I took it. It's like
You know what
there's too much of this person
you know what I
talking.
said? I said I feel lonely sitting on the subway. At least I get to talk to somebody. I'm segueing.
Listen to your podcast. Listen to Phil's podcast.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
what
put you
that-
to sleep right there. Yeah.
No.
It's
very
funny,
entertaining.
yeah.
Hopefully,
But
this
you
is an
think,
entertaining one for people.
I think the well, yeah. You see you as a mayor. You're a colorful guy, you know, and you know, and personality wise, you're sharing your frustration, what bugs you the most about things. That's real.
I'm passionate.
I'm not sitting as a neutral saying.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put it like this and go, okay, Mike, go in nomad mode and talk about things you're gonna get done. And you sit there, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna reduce bike lanes. I'm gonna more traffic guards. I'm gonna hire more echelons. I'm gonna have a night service.
Yeah.
It's just nomadic, you know. Like,
Yes, that's right.
So, what are your solutions? So, yeah. So, but I think, like I said, if they extend that complete from McCown all the way to the Shepherd line, right? Which is
Kennedy to Shepherd.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I already saw the proposal. Why don't they just finish it? I think it'll make a big difference in transportation wise for.
Yeah. So I mean, some of those plans are there. I just need to
they're doing the Ontario line now. Well, that'll make a big difference too,
so
right?
don't stop building subways for the next 30 years.
And the Mississauga LRT will be done by 2027, right? Corning, that's what they're planning. And they said they have free.
They have the land to build an above ground.
And it's free service for the seniors in Mississauga.
Yeah, but make it free for everybody.
Yeah.
So we're finally. It's been 15 minutes to get to
Did you
your
time me
first
all
question.
this there, buddy?
Oh, I'm just guessing.
This is when you get in. This is when you interview accountants.
So the first part
the
is
best way to take your calculator from your pocket.
Oh, Phil, that one hurt. Okay, your
I'm
others
kidding.
were okay, but the pocket calculator,
Yeah, I
I'm
had
drawing the
to-
line. I'm drawing the line there because next year we're gonna go for the abacus.
Oh, the abacus.
Yeah,
You're
abacus.
you're aging us, buddy.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, I'm going for the sundial.
Yeah.
Ah.
I got my Fred Flintstone sundial.
You remember that?
now.
Yeah, they're
that's right.
smart. Yeah.
So the first thing is
Fred Flintstone's a cartoon, by the way.
yeah.
In case people don't know that.
So this is one of the things I'm like, stop policing this whole fare collection thing. Just
Oh, you mean
I'm just be done with it.
Yeah.
So again, it's not just a question of trying to make transit more attractive.
Yeah.
It's just, nobody has to pay a fare when you drive on the street or when you walk on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Those are major modes of transportation. Let's make transit the same thing. Okay, now we got to pay for half. The other half that we're not already paying for. People have to remember that. So again, if you don't have to worry about fare collection anymore, that's going to take out a certain amount of costs. So you won't need these constables, you won't need the fare collectors. It'll make the drivers' jobs easier because they don't have to worry about the hassle. Not that they do anyway, because they gave up on that a while ago. They used to, but anyway. So that you're going to save some money on that. Okay.
So if you're gonna make fare free for everybody, you couldn't do it like everybody. You couldn't do cold turkey like everybody gets free.
Well,
Would it be priority be like seniors and people with special needs?
I would. The issue is going to be judging the demand.
Oh my!
So-
Come back in the camera.
Oh, sorry. My seat's getting sore.
Yeah, sorry. I know this is a wide seat.
These
These are wide seats. They're far from
a lounge bench. You promised me a nice lounge bench.
There's nothing in the there's nothing in the proposal. Just saw the email. Nothing but
I'm
seating.
sure I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Okay.
so-
Hi. We're doing an interview. Watch out.
Oh,
Thanks.
hi.
Okay. Please. Thank you.
So
Yeah, we're recording right now. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah. Thank you.
Phil, you're gonna have to put me back on track again, please.
Fair. How you gonna
Fares.
increase? How do you do free service?
Oh yeah, sorry. So you have to judge the amount of demand,
Yeah.
because you don't want to start it free
Yeah.
for everybody, and then everybody piles on and goes, it's like it's not crowded. So
Yeah.
so one idea I had isn't by the type of passenger, it's the mode.
Yeah.
So subways first,
Yeah.
then streetcars, then buses.
Yeah.
You could do it geographically. You could do a test, something like that, or work it out with the TTC people. But that's kind of how.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, and that gets complicated too. So ideally, you'd want to do it all at once, as long as you could judge the demand and make sure you had enough of the vehicles to do it.
Okay.
Okay. That would have to be study. But I want to do this in the first year.
Okay.
Because then I want people to have another 3 years. Well, in case I need to do it, roll it out year by year, but it has to be done by my first term in order for people to say, you know what, you actually did something.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have the special needs, that
Yeah.
special medicals, they can't make it because they can't afford it.
Yeah. So this would also have to include wheel-trans.
Yeah, wheelchairs, yeah.
Free wheel-trans. Now they only pay regular fare anyway, but it would have to be included. So
Seniors pay, a discount.
wheel-trans I thought was regular fare.
No, my mom uses it. She's a senior, had the Presto. She
right.
she paid the two. So
Right.
no, it's two.
But if she wasn't, she'd pay the
Yeah,
$3.25,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's not like it costs you $10. So that
Yeah.
would be included as well, just in case people want
Yeah.
to know if that would be included. I would certainly maintain wheel-trans. I heard somebody talking about reducing it, or charging
really?
more or something
Reducing, yeah.
somewhere. Well, it's really expensive, right? But again, I have to be fair to those people. So we use the Variety Village gym. So a lot of people there coming on wheel-trans.
Mhm.
So I can really see the value of that, plus seniors as well. So okay, so we save on the administration cost. I would like to impose a parking tax on public parking. So I would increase meters by 50% or double meter rates.
Yeah?
Okay,
That's a lot.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
but there's again. The idea is to not just fund the TTC, but make it more attractive
Well, the
for you to.
PTC parking lots are free on weekends, right?
Yeah.
But
So-
except for stat holidays.
Yeah.
But
So I'm a little flexible in this. It all
Yeah.
kind of depends on how much money I need. But the one reason I want to put a parking tax on parking lots, okay, so like again, I'm thinking mostly downtown, right? If you're just moving around here in Scarborough, traffic's not really that much of a problem, right? So I don't want to ding people where it's not really an issue. Okay? But downtown it is. You're paying $20 or $30 for day parking. Well, how many of those people are coming from outside the city? Right.
Well,
So
yeah.
they're contributing. So this is my way of getting money from people who are using the infrastructure of Toronto, but not paying for it because they live outside. So that's one way to do that. So I put that $10 a day.
Who was the council that wanted to do a toll service on the highways?
No, absolutely.
That was
Again, anything that's administratively expensive, and again, I like to do things in the most simple way possible. Anything that's administratively expensive to operate, I will not advocate for. So that whole road toll thing, like they talk about in London and stuff like that, and a lot of people advocate for that. No, it's just administratively too much.
Well, in
It's
Halifax they
expensive.
have the toll of bridges. That's been there for years.
If you had a bridge,
Yeah, that's a different
that's
story,
fine.
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind the 407 and things like that. But no, in terms of in the city, no.
I used
Keep it
to
simple.
live back there in the 80s, where they always throw your quarter in the
Yeah.
little basket,
Yeah.
and when in a rush, it bounced off. You're holding up traffic. Now they changed it, but it was so
that's right.
especially during wintertime. Taking the old McKay Bridge across to the other side of Dartmouth. Oh my God,
That's right.
those are the days we're living. Yeah.
So,
So that's good. So you want to do that?
and then anything else remaining would have to come out of general
But I was
revenues.
also just not increase. Just
Oh, no, sorry, then the
increase
other
your
thing-
parking and also
Oh.
parking meters too, as well.
Parking meters, again,
Yeah.
to be determined how much. And then the other one is, okay, I am giving you everyone has an access to a free service.
Yeah.
It would only be, I think, fair to just like
What
you
if
get
you're
tax
parking
for
every
your-
day, right? Would you give it like a package, like a discount, like a TTC? So if you're parking every day, you're going to work, you raise the fares, would you give it like a discount? Like
No.
say you're doing 5 days a week parking.
No, I'm
and-
giving you free transit.
Oh, that's okay, yeah. But what if people drive? They don't want to drive. Instead,
Well, if you don't want to drive, if
Yeah.
you don't want to take TTC, I mean, so here's the thing: if the parking lot isn't giving you a discount,
What about people?
no, but if the parking lot
Yeah.
owner isn't giving you
Yeah.
a discount, so if he does give you a discount,
Yeah.
then yeah, I'll give you a discount.
Okay.
But if he's not giving you a discount because you don't have a monthly
But also,
pass,
another consider. I'm arguing you.
Yeah.
As where the TTC can't reach where you park. So you're in a complex or a building or a facility where the TTC's way over there, and you got to go to there. So you decide to drive, but you got to park in that public spot there. What do you take into consideration? Well, discounts and all, right? You know what I mean? For example,
I'll always consider stuff.
you got a
I
mosquito on your neck there, so
What? No one's biting, and I'm
Yeah.
usually pretty.
tough. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, you're good. So when you, what, like for example,
I'd consider anything. I don't have a direct answer for you in that situation. I'll
You'll get back
consider
to me on
anything
that?
that's
Will you make a
reasonable.
separate video about that?
I can't actually picture it. That's
Okay.
the problem I'm having.
Oh,
I can't picture it.
But you know what I'm
you're
saying, right?
referring
So they say here's the park here, right? We're at the park,
Yeah.
and the nearest TTC location is like down there, right? So people, there's a park.
So if you're already paying for parking, I'm only going to increase the cost. So
Yeah.
you're already paying.
But the TTC does not extend past a certain point, and you got to go further down. Like, you know, like.
Well, if I would be all in favor of having free TTC lots.
Yeah.
Again, as an inducement for people.
But like
to
if
not
I'm driving
drive.
to a spot, like I got to go to work, and the last bus stop is, well, for example, back in the day when I was taking the bus from McNichol and Pharmacy, there was the last bus stop was down the road at Birchmount, or not Birchmount, Birchmount. That was it. I was the last one on, first one off.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna go further down back then, Birchmount or past that, there was no TTC there.
Okay.
I would rather go and drive and go park further down. And,
Well, that's your choice.
Yeah, and
That's your choice.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But no. So
We have
no.
to but I'm saying you have
I'm not going to know. I'm not going to know that.
Would you do discount packages?
As soon as it becomes,
you know the whole thing with the 40,
I understand.
the 40 rights,
but
the 40 feet
but
of the TTC.
as soon
right?
as it becomes administratively costly,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
That's in some instances, that's my determining factor.
Okay.
Keeping it simple is best.
Kiss.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Sign.
You
Simple sign.
didn't put the word in it. You got all these mosquitoes.
No, they're just probably gnats. They're not mosquitoes.
They're all ants.
Ants. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been standing still too long.
Yeah.
So back to the cost. So again, I would advocate for
Yeah.
or budget for a tax per household.
A tax per household? Like what?
Well, like $500 or something like that. Because again, depends on how much money I can collect from these other. Because everybody is going to be using it or have access to it. Whether they use it or not, that's their choice. Even if they drive, but if I'm able to pull enough cars off the road and they wish to drive, I still think it's fair to charge them this transportation tax because they're going to have better traffic.
Yeah. Okay. And if they use it, as long as they use it, right?
Well, if they use transit, they're getting that free. If
Yeah.
they drive, if they want to stay at their home all day, they stay at their home. But I mean, we do pay for road service through your taxes.
Yeah.
So again,
Well,
transit, and whether you use the roads
talk
or
about
not,
that.
the roads or not, you're being taxed for it.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It's
right?
not really that much different. So a lot of this is really just introducing new ideas, getting people to think about them, and realizing that.
Well, you talked about
it's
$500
not
bucks, so
different.
people are like, look at the last 4 years they increased the taxes, right? So what, 13% more than that, right?
Yeah.
But before that, there wasn't much raising the taxes on land, right? Now
Well,
suddenly,
so when we moved into our current home, because we had a starter home and then we moved up to where we are now, my taxes increased 10% a year for probably 20 years.
yeah.
10%. I get 10% extra, and that was certainly above the rate of inflation. So yeah, so that's another thing. All these new developments and everything didn't reduce my taxes anything at all. So again, just to say that the city spends far too much than it should be spending. Yeah, it's not spending.
And you said earlier, back then, developers again. The developers, you know,
that's right.
they're making the buck off the city while we're suffering.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
then
has
they
to change.
complain that, well, they're charging development costs, and that's somewhat true, but there is infrastructure that has to be paid with that. It is used for some good use, maybe not. But then again, the city does some things that people probably aren't aware of, so now there's this 5, 10, hopefully 20% affordable housing requirement on some of these developments, right? But the city gives away a huge amount of taxes to pay for that, you know. So in the end, it's a net. So I complained at one point. I said that, you know, in your city finances, that the city never shows the foregone revenue, tax revenue from all these deals, all these tax giveaways. And then finally, recently, I saw that they actually did include it. It's not easy. I could look for it again recently. I couldn't find it, but they have, and it's like $500 million a year that they give away in tax revenue to fund these things. So there's a cost there. Nothing's for free. Everybody thinks something's for free. No, you and I are paying for it when we do pay our tax, for the taxes that we do pay. Nothing's for free. And this is why I want to be upfront with people to say, look, I'm going to may charge you something extra. I'm going to try and keep it a minimum. I'm going to try and find every other way I can to find the money. But when I can't find any more, and I need to fund this service because we as a city think it's an important thing to spend money on, I will spend the money, but I'm going to charge you for it. But at least I can say I know that I'm giving you good value for that money.
Yeah. You're making a deal with the city.
People.
Yeah. People.
The people.
Yeah.
The voters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 5. We did number 4 yet?
Well, that was homelessness.
Yeah.
5.
So we 5.
Customer service. I think we already talked about that.
No, that was
I think
we're down
to
number 6.
I think we've covered everything.
Number
Phil.
you got 6, right? You're missing 1.
Yeah. So, it's affordability, traffic, transit, homelessness, customer service, and city finances, financial fiscal responsibility. I think we've touched on them all.
Let's go
directly or
Okay,
indirectly.
let's move on to something.
Which one do you want to go on?
Let's
Because
go
then
on
I got
to,
a whole bunch more.
I know you do. That's what. Let's move on. I'm gonna sure you got. I actually got it all covered. I'm not testing you. I know. I've read your platform. I've seen your videos. As people know, I do my homework, right?
You absolutely do.
Well, that's for me. That's for me to promote you. In case you forget something.
Yeah.
Because in the real debates, you can only do so much.
Right.
This is the opportunity we can talk. Because people can ask you in Q&A like, what's in your platform? It's all limited.
Those so-called debates that I was on the last election, you get like 30 seconds or 2 minutes, and these you cannot say enough in those times.
I've been to some
and
of
then
these.
Nobody will actually. You can't counterpoint.
No.
And these are complex topics.
Well, some of the questions I've been to a few of these debates. These questions you ask don't even relate to your platforms. It's just mundane. I went to one. There's Diane Stacks' award we got now, and the questions they asked was like a 5-point questions, and the
long
questions like it was like during a thesis, and in the beginning, jeez, get on with the question. Same question. It took like over 3 hours.
I feel badly talking so much, Phil. I'm used to just saying things
you're
short
quite
and sweet.
You should mind me. Just mind me. You can sign. I can sign if you want.
No. I just feel that people just lose interest. You know what I mean?
I know it's a long video, but but they didn't want to hear your talk. And so let's go on to crime.
Crime, right? So, crime's a big thing now.
Yeah.
The crime issue goes up and down in the city. Because I put a lot in it in my platform 3 years ago because it was a big thing, and then when I did it recently, I sort of took out a couple things, and then all of a sudden crime's a big issue again. So it will go up and down, up and down. So we'd have to unfortunately conclude crime sooner or later will be a constant problem that has to be addressed. So let's look for a second. I'm going to get a little philosophical on you, okay? Let's break down.
Which guy are you picking now? Plato, Socrates,
No,
Philo?
me. I'm my own philosopher.
Oh, pardon me. Didn't know you were one.
I'm not up there, but
I don't see you in a toga, so you must be watered.
Stereotyping again.
I was, wasn't I?
You were.
For the past, right? Okay.
So let's look at again. This
Okay,
is
I'll
not
put the future real
this,
quick.
this isn't on my website, but I want to articulate for a second. Let's look at what are the factors that will contribute to an individual committing a crime. Okay, I'm just going to run through them as quickly as I can because only I think 2 of them, the city through its police officers can have an influence on. Okay, I'll just run through these quickly. So number 1 is the person's nature. Okay, there are sociopaths in the world. There's like 2 or 3% of the population, and then there's people who are almost sociopaths, and then you got a whole spectrum, right? So there are some bad-natured people right there. Then you get how people are raised. How people are raised is a very important factor in the values that they hold. So you can't influence that. There's who you hang around with. I lived in a smaller suburb in Montreal. I knew who the bad guys were in my class, who the troublemakers were. We all hung out together anyway. Didn't influence me, but the bad guys got into trouble by hanging around with each other, that sort of thing. And then there's your own personal values. So this is the values. This is changeable. So you may have come from a not so great upbringing, and you may have hung around with some of the wrong people.
I'm going to challenge you on that one.
Please do.
About the upbringing, how you raise your family.
Okay.
So I know a lot of families that raise their kids well. They're going to be rotten kids. I'm saying not rotten, but then I've seen kids from
but that's
single homes, single families,
Yeah.
and they're well-to established kids.
right.
So
that's
that's
where
my
that's the
argument to you.
kids
Yeah.
they hang out with,
Yeah.
or maybe some of
But
them
kids-
it's
so
their
yeah,
nature, right?
In a way, I'm just like
when I say hang out with, I also mean
Yeah.
it's whatever their social influence is, whether it's
Yeah.
just their friends or the wider
well,
group
you see
or
in
what
the
they
news.
see on
In the
social
news,
media.
it has just great upbringing, great parents. They're great family are role models, but
Yeah.
it's a choice they make as you get
that's
older.
right, that's right.
Right?
So again, some things affected their personal
Yeah.
values, but their
Yeah.
personal values can be changed. So again, you can fall into trouble, pay the consequences, and then make a decision for yourself that I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mhm.
That's not necessarily easy,
No.
but it just means there was hope for people.
Yeah.
Okay, most people, some people.
Yeah.
So fifth would then be the opportunity to commit a crime,
Mhm.
right? So if somebody leaves their car unlocked and the keys in ignition,
Temptation. and all
most
that,
people wouldn't care, but the wrong person and they will take advantage of that. Or somebody left something on a park bench, and
But
most
some people it becomes
yeah.
second nature, right? Like
Well, yeah, no,
my
that's right.
shoppers I go to,
yeah.
every day I've seen
Locked up.
thefts in front of me.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
point blank.
Again,
Yeah.
so that's another factor, but because so then there's the opportunity to commit crime, and that's why you have security guards everywhere to reduce that opportunity, right? So that's one of the areas that can be influenced.
Mhm.
Okay, the sixth factor, which is the one I believe the city has the most influence on, is the chances of getting caught. Okay, and the last one is the consequences. Okay, the city can't control the consequences. That's federal and provincial law and the courts, and we don't have jurisdiction over that.
You think we should come down harder on their?
Well, there are some situations. There's a certain level of permissiveness that I think has exceeded what I think is appropriate in society today.
Mhm.
Right? Like, I mean, that fella down who shot the police officer at near me down at Bloor and Parliament or Sherbourne.
Mhm.
Again, if I'm recalling the news correctly, they were already out on
Bail.
bail, and they had 2 outstanding warrants.
Yeah.
So I cannot influence it. My personal opinion is that people with charges pending for violent crimes should be not wholesale, no bail, but I think we should be a bit more serious about keeping it, because again, there's just too much of a repeated pattern. But again, that is not something I can control. The one thing that I do think the city can control the most is increasing the chance that you're going to get caught. In other words, and the opportunity. So people tend not to commit crimes when a cop's standing right there.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Nobody makes an illegal left if there's a cop car right across the intersection from you, right? Anyways, because they notice that, right? So that's where I think the city can have an influence. Not so much on the social factors, as much as we'd like to. Maybe we can a bit, but I don't really think so. Not nearly as much, because you can't beat people's parents. You can't beat people's friends as a city. They're gonna. So. A person has to know that there's a chance that they're going to get caught. Okay, and again, that won't even stop a lot of people, because what's interesting I noticed the other day is that these I can't remember what the correct word is for it, but the solution rate for murders in the city of Toronto is very high. Mm-hmm. It's like 90% thereabouts. It fluctuates a bit up and a bit down. But that's a very high chance of being caught, right? But people still commit crimes. Yeah. They shoot. I mean, I think this was the article where they caught the fella. I think maybe it was in connection with the St. Clair shooting. Anyway, so and it still doesn't stop people. So you're never going to really prevent crimes, even if people know that they're going to get caught. But depending on the crime, right? But you want to know. So to make a long story short, I do believe that the city needs more surveillance, whether it be cameras or police presence on foot, whatever. And I do believe that we need community intelligence. Okay? And this is a very controversial area, because I'm phrasing it very nicely when I say community intelligence, okay? What I really mean there is, if you worked out who's committing the crimes in the city, okay? It's men. It's men between the ages of 15 to, say, 35, okay? It's men in probably 80% in certain neighborhoods, but it's not all the young men in those neighborhoods. It's maybe only 20% of the neighborhoods, and in those neighborhoods, it's only probably 20% of the young men. Okay, and such. So when you narrow it down, you work that percentage. So 50% times 20% times 20% times 5, it comes out to, I did the calculation, about 12,000 bad guys in the city of Toronto that are causing most of the violent gang type of crimes. Okay, so if we knew who those people were, and there are programs, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, so there's a couple of police podcasts I listen to. I can't tell you the names of them off the top of my head, but they talk about programs in various cities, for example, in the United States, where they talk about this sort of thing, where they can prevent crimes because they have strong community intelligence. They know who's fighting who, okay, or who's involved with what, and again, people tend to have a loose association with each other. So if you know somebody, if you know him and you know his circle, you can focus on these people. So they kind of know sometimes when something's brewing, and they will proactively go into these groups and say, okay, we know something's up, because a lot of these, like say, player shootings, it's you're having a fight with another. Again, I won't say gang. It's often just a loose association of people. Gangs is an easy way to put it, but you get the idea. People, this group of friends and this group of associates, whatever. So they can do things proactively to sort of mediate that dispute, and so that people know, okay, well, they know they're onto us, and so somebody gets shot. I mean, we know who the likely suspects are, and again, I think that's probably how a lot of stuff already gets resolved in this city of Toronto. But I think we're still not happy with the level of crime in the city, particularly violent crime. So we just need to do more of that.
Well, we have the police boards, right? Right.
The mayor doesn't the mayor has a seat on the board.
Yeah.
Our current mayor doesn't actually make use of that, from what I've been
Yeah.
told. I would absolutely be a strong presence on the police board.
You would?
Absolutely. So there are things, again, I've learned a lot from listening to these. There is a lot of progress being made in the policing world, okay, in terms of better programs and policies, etc., not just for the police people themselves, or police officers themselves, but in terms of how to prevent crime, and then how to find the perpetrators once a crime's been committed. Training is hugely important, like any job.
Yeah.
Training is everything, right? And then customer service. You don't have to be the baddie all the time.
Yeah.
You can still be the good guy. I mean, I was always taught a favorable review of policemen, and there's work that can be done there. So I think there's a lot can be done. I still need to do more of it. Again, in the context of I don't want to. People don't want. I mean, you hear this all the time. People don't want police snooping around all the time. I get it. I get it. But this comes back to the priority. Okay. So you don't want police people around, but you don't want people being shot or injured, or carjacked or whatever, and you don't want people going to jail. Okay. You don't want that. I don't want any of that either. I don't want any of that. But something's got to be your priority. Because I can give you two, as I say on my website, I can give you two things out of the three. Something's got to give. As a community, we have to decide what it is that's our priority. And so, okay, I don't want people shot. Okay, well, you're going to have, that's your priority. Well, you're going to have to make do with the fact that you are going to have either people will have to go to jail, or you're going to have surveillance. Pick. I can give you two. Third one. So if you're saying I don't want police surveillance, well, people are going to get shot. I'll give you that, and then people are going to go to jail.
I talked with other candidates and other people, the police board, more participation with the communities. Say, for example, every ward has a volunteer of community advocates working with the police. So police in different divisions will break it down. Like say we have 3 divisions here in Scarborough, right? So break it down like more, not just the police board, but an order association and volunteers. Then they know what's going on in the community. Like you said, the biggest thing is communication. They see the crime, they know the culprits are, They're on the police board, or they're going for a town hall meeting once a month, communicating the other wards, and sharing stories. That's how communication, prevents things. In a way.
But again, the police are going to have to know who's who. So I mean. So that means that if you're apprehended, again, I don't have an issue with people going, seeing somebody at 3 a.m. going, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I really don't, because again, the police if the police don't know anything, how in the world are they going to solve a crime?
Yeah.
They can't. They don't know anything. By the time a crime gets committed and they get the call, the crime's off, and they have no clue.
Yeah.
How are they going to solve that? They can't. We have to be.
Well, another complaint is the amount of people got put on hold calling 911.
Sure.
You can't. Certain emergencies you can call, but you have to call the regular police number. I've been on it myself.
Okay.
Call about noise pollution, things going on the parks.
Yeah.
You're waiting in line like an hour and a half. By the time they're gone, the thing.
So
right?
again, the other things too. Sometimes the little stuff needs to be looked at too.
Yeah.
I think we do need more police officers, and I think we need more bylaw enforcement officers.
Yes.
So the police shouldn't be worrying about the small stuff. There's another thing in the city of Toronto. If we have bylaws, enforce them. Enforce them or get rid of them.
Increase the fines too.
Well, that's the enforcement.
Yeah.
But again, you gotta collect the fine. Or again, the most simple thing is just ban them. This is why the whole electric scooter thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Get rid of them.
Well,
stop talking about
now downtown
regulating, because we don't have people to regulate.
No, we don't. And it's up to the manager of the stores. Like the last McDonald's, we had a employee got an argument with 2 young guys. The scooters, they're big, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing said, "Well, where's your sign?" Because they have them downtown. They have signs on the windows, right? That's the argument. A mother came with 2 scooters. I said, "Excuse me, this is safe down."
Yeah.
I got a friend, my friend Marianne. She's visually impaired. She's in the bathroom with her dog. She said, "Well, show me the sign. Call the police." I said, "You're not a good role model right now. Excuse me."
Right.
And she trips over that. Who's she going to sue? You? No, McDonald's.
Right.
So I've called McDonald's. I've called all these places. You need to advocate not just for crime, but also public safety. Put your foot down. They say it's up to the store manager, up to the franchise. Well, it's not. You see the explosions going on and all that. So let's get away from that.
But
let's
the
talk
city,
about
but the city has a role in
we
that,
do,
right?
yeah. And they're coming down.
No, because then it's like, well, are you authorized and you're
They
not?
want to license them and all that.
Forget about it. It's like a scooter, gone.
Well, you've seen guys in the Uber drivers. I'm on driving with mom nighttime. How many times? Maybe 10 times. I almost knocked into the guy. He's first of all, he's darker than me. Let's say me not being racist, right? He's a Indian, Sri Lankan, whatever.
Yeah.
They're dark. He's wearing dark clothes. He's got no lights on his.
Oh yeah,
scooter.
no. Oh yeah.
And they're riding two in a bike, like they're back in India or something. I'm from India. I can say this.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm just saying, but you couldn't say it. I could. That's the thing about having a color.
Yeah, that's right. Your family's from Goa, Pride Betty. No? Goa?
No, my mom's Irish. You see my picture of my mom?
No.
Yeah, my mom's Irish, red hair, green eyes, very white.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's whiter than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
and the dad was Spanish. De Cruz is Spanish.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your family's not from India?
We all born there because their relatives came from Portugal, Spain, Ireland. They all, the British settlements and all that.
Yeah.
So they're all born there. My mom was
the Portuguese city in India was Goa, wasn't it? That's where I thought you were from.
No. But Portuguese from Portugal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Cruz is Spanish with the cross.
Yeah, that's right.
I got a birthmark. It's like I got a cross. Goes my birthmark.
Oh wow.
By fate or coincidence. Yeah. People get a kick out of that one. Yeah. And then they go, show me your birthmark. Anyways, yeah. But I'm just saying that. My mom spoke 3 different dialects of Hindu as a teacher for 12 years in India.
Really?
She had an Irish accent, speaking Hindu, 3 different dialects. We came here.
Wow, you have a very interesting family.
Yeah. My mom was an advocate. My mom was smart. Yeah. My dad too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both in community. My mom worked for Allstate. She was a teacher. Then worked for Allstate. Dad worked for Ontario Housing.
Okay.
That's where I learned how to be a community advocate. Watching what he did every day and all that. And, So my. Let's get into your volunteering. I know
I don't do.
You don't do a lot of volunteering?
No, I don't.
Then why I'm having this interview with you, buddy? I know you volunteer. You told me.
Where?
You told me some stuff you've done.
Oh well, no. The tax work I do is paid, so I do sometimes. That's not volunteer. Maybe one day.
But you like helping people out. You said
I like helping people out.
So what have you done?
No, now you really put me on the spot.
You told me before the interview. Yeah.
What do I volunteer for? I don't even think about it.
You do pro bono stuff sometimes, you said?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't make them pay?
No. Yeah, I work for a company for taxes,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I really like helping them out.
Yeah.
But no, I have to abide by the company rules. So
Okay, you
no,
gotta abide by
it's
the company
not
rules.
pro bono,
Okay.
no, I'm afraid not. But,
Okay.
but I go out of my way to make sure that I've given them the best service I can for what they're
Okay.
paying for. Yeah,
Okay.
if they need.
So we covered everything in your platform. Anything else we're missing? What about parks?
Well, parks are very valuable.
Green spaces?
People, we've got to keep them as many as we can.
Yeah.
But I should say, but we got to keep them. I want more green spaces. So
Yeah.
we have to stop.
Well, the amount of these buildings go up, the type of condos going up, they give a lot of, well, I was at Jenny Warden's campaign launch. There's a little green park there. That's trying to deal with the city maybe putting these new areas up in buildings and all.
Mhm.
But it's not enough. It's like a little space there. The amount of stuff that's gone up there, it doesn't even.
Yeah.
So
So with the
match,
parks,
yeah.
again, the thing is, if you're going to put something in a park, ask the community around it uses the park, what do you want the money spent on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think of the?
And I think we need more. I think we need more certain kind of recreational facilities.
Yeah.
So okay. I have a bias. I play hockey. I think the Portlands area, instead of more condos being built down there, I think they need a sports facility down there.
Exactly.
So you can put up a cricket field.
Yep.
You can put up a couple more hockey pads.
Mhm.
I don't know. Ask the community what kind of facilities we need down there, because there's no more space large enough to put those kind of facilities. I mean, there's tons of people down there, and it will get used. There's a big pile of dirt beside Bidassigate Park.
Mhm.
Make a toboggan
Oh,
hill,
have you been
not
down
a ski
there?
hill. Oh, I'm through there all the time.
What do you think of it?
It's a nice park,
Yeah.
but for 1.6 billion, that is only going to be used by maybe 10% of the people, and it's not actually going to stop the flooding.
It's not gonna stop the flooding.
No,
They
that
can't.
that was a story.
That was the.
That was a sell. That
all
was,
the canoes are not gonna flow and all that stuff.
Well, no, the canoes will float, but it's not going to stop.
I mean,
them.
clean water.
No, we
yeah.
already had one closure earlier this year of the Bayview
Mhm.
for flooding.
Okay. Yeah.
So, if you go down there now, what you'll see in the old Keating
Let's just
Channel.
say the Keating Channel. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dredging it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they should have done in the first place.
Yeah.
The whole Don Valley, all the way up to Pottery Road, should have been dredged out
Well, look
first.
what happened the last rainfall. Once again, it flooded, right?
Did it? Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
hear that
yeah.
one. I know it did it before, so it flooded again. So again,
You're busy on your Segway. That's why you didn't notice that.
I jump around. Don't I?
You gotta get a
Too far
Segway
back.
now. People are gonna say, "Does he got a
See-
Segway? He's got to
see,
get one." That's
so
what you
you,
mentioned it.
you only associated the word Segway with those little devices?
The little things.
The Segways.
Yeah, I was being
Yeah.
stereotyping.
Yes, okay. So parks, that was not the best use of $1.6 billion. It's
I mean,
great, but
it's
I'll tell
beautiful.
you,
It's
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
But the question is value
I made a
for
joke.
money.
I made a joke on Facebook last year when the first phase opened up. I made a joke.
Yeah.
I made it like a couple of cracks on purpose. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the attacks I got on Facebook about it, like, oh.
Really, eh?
Well, I mentioned about the lack of bathrooms. One guy said, "Well, wear a diaper." Then one guy was so negative. I looked him up. He was a CEO of his company in PEI. He was a positive nature energy company. He did all this nasty stuff. I just as a joke, right?
Yeah.
But it's nicely done. But I'm saying like
But the thing is, though, again, who drove that project?
exactly, yeah.
Same with another one near me, not too far away, actually, just down the harbor, the Leslie Street lookout. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
they took this little plot of land at the end of
Yeah.
down Leslie Street. You know where it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, what's on the other side of it, right? First of all, it was a little commercial leased property of the city, so they were making a little bit of money leasing it. But it's a cement guy on one side and a
Yeah.
salt guy on the other side, and when the ships are in there, and it's a lookout, and so you get these huge ships and these dust all over the place, and hardly anybody uses it, and they wouldn't even care if it was there or not.
Exactly.
But where did that idea come from? You think that was some citizen, a bunch of citizens saying, "Hey,
But the-
you know what? We need a park here." Who didn't even know it was city land?
Well, they got the
No, and then it's right next to Tommy Thompson Park, where there's lots of
Yeah,
parkland, right?
yeah, yeah.
So who do you think? No, somebody came up with the idea, pitched it to the city, and
Yeah.
the city went, "Oh, well, we got," and they don't even tell you
Well, they
how
have
much it
the,
costs, and they get it. So it's
yeah.
the same with BDOT. Say, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
we want to develop that Portlands
Yeah.
for condos, but well, we need it to make it look nice, so it's not Portlands." I'm being slightly cynical here, but I don't think I'm far off the mark. So we want to develop that area. This is the developer's talk, but yeah, we want to make it look nice. So we got to have a nice park beside it. So we'll come up with this concept. It's a nice, again, it's a beautiful park. I'm not criticizing that part of it. I go bird watching there. It's great. When it was first pitched, I thought it was just going to be a marshland, but no, it's highly developed. But it's a huge project, and so we need that. But how are we going to sell a $1.6 billion park that only 10% of the city is going to use? And we'll make it a flood mitigation. That will sell it that way, instead of actually dredging the Don Valley from Pottery Road all the way down and clearing out all the snags and stuff, so that stuff doesn't flood. And then it got sold. And in fact, it was actually confirmed because a city manager, I don't know which one, a few years ago actually let it out that actually no, it's not really flood mitigation. And now that they're developing the Portlands with all this 40,000 people or more, it just tells you.
Well, even it's actually that's called the Irish Memorial, right on Harbourfront. You can't even see it from the street. You have to go into it.
Oh, okay.
There's these, I don't know, the brick or whatever. And they got the names and different things, and dedicated to people that actually came overseas.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I know of one in Montreal.
Yeah. But besides, they got the sugar factory on that side, and then they got a building on this side over here.
Oh, so the Red Path. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and
got that.
So the college, George Brown, is down that way.
Yeah.
Queetsky.
Yeah. So basically, but you can't see it from when you bike it. You cannot see it.
I had no idea it was there.
You know?
All these years.
Got a gesture walking around looking for his mom and dad. It's cute. So yeah. So we got everything in your platform.
We've covered. Wow, we've covered more than enough.
Yeah. It was be a long.
I think I was one of your longer interviews.
Oh, we'll see. I've had a few, but that's good.
Yeah.
People can hear. Maybe sorry, people like to hear the video. They watch it. I've had good feedback. They don't care for the length. They like to see where you're coming from.
Okay, good.
And like I said, out of now there's 40 mayor candidates, and only 14 are visible, meaning your name is on there with your website.
Right. Now I'll be able to post this on my page as well.
That's what I mean. They asked the 40 candidates, where are the rest of them? Well, there you are. Yeah. Like I said to people, you heard me in the videos, put your stuff on the city website. You're not going to go to any debates. They're not going to look at. They're going to let that list 40 candidates. Yeah. And then check out get that old percentage out of the system. Like, don't go by percentage. If you're gonna, you're only gonna have 2 candidates running for debates. So it's free.
Yeah, they can do it by invite. I don't mind, but at least they would have gone through my
at least your name's on there. You're gonna get called for interviews. It's gonna be coming. You get surveys coming. They go by that website. Tell people. Like you seen the website I did. Most of the people that put on, they got their own Facebook, Instagram, but it's not on their. I tell them, put it on the website.
Yes.
I had to do the research finding it for them, like finding putting the web. I found most of them, but I said in the for American, especially someone I said, like if you're not on there, and I can't find nothing, I do my research to look for Instagram, Facebook, whatever they have. If I can't find it, I'm not going to put your name on there. Right. But I got 2 people wrote back, hey, my name's on there, why not? Well, give me your information. So the guy did, and he added on. I said nicely, thank you, let me know, but please put it on the website. So I don't have to look for it, and you get invited to debates. That's how you get invited. They're not gonna look.
The one thing I've noticed, I've seen a few emails going out to all candidates from special interest groups who are saying, tell me what your platform is on this, and this, and I'm like, well, if you actually just made the effort to go look at my platform, you'd know I'm not spending 2 hours
get some of these,
rehashing it. So it's not that I don't want to reply to them.
No,
I just think that's just not an efficient way.
But some of them are some are based on their own personal things. They won't make their own. Like I made my own personal website for you guys, right? Yeah. But that's just a straight for. Mine not asking for your opinions. I'm just putting your website there, doing the interview. That's my thing. Yeah. I'm not giving you.
You're doing a very good job of it.
Thank you. Yeah,
especially because you're very neutral about everything.
I have
even
to
though
be,
you're.
But
it's not that. Again, you're very involved and you're very passionate about some things. But the fact that you are very neutral, it's appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, I got quite a few friends running it again.
Yeah.
And they ask, support me. I say, I got it, but I can't make I can't go out. Well, the TCM debate we went to. Toronto Community Housing debate back in 2022. There were about 9 of us went to the debate. So me and a whole bunch of them. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they already endorsed somebody before we got to the debate. So what's the point of going to the debate? You already endorsed somebody. Yeah. There's something called what's it called, Growing GTA. They had for the bike. I'm surprised you didn't get invited. It was all candidates, and it was a jackass. It was a meet and greet, basically meet and greet. We got a chance to talk about our 2 priorities. No. But they had already endorsed Bradford.
Okay.
And he just showed up at the end when it was all over, and they still endorsed him. They got pictures, and I go, well, you know what? I wrote to him. I said, why did you invite all of us ready to how you're gonna endorse, right? Are you trying to invite us over to make him look better as a candidate? You know, you don't.
I don't know that endorsements as such matter that much. Even if I had some, I don't think I'd bother with it.
You're like full of.
Yeah, I'm attracted to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
eh?
Yeah. It must be the shirt. But anyways, you know what I think? Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, when you're gonna endorse somebody. Like if I went and say, okay, I've just interviewed you, Michael. I like you. You know, a nice looking guy, fit guy. Okay, I'm gonna endorse you. Next event, for the American candidate, they're gonna, why I'm doing you? You already,
that's right.
You already favor somebody. Well, I
That's-
might change my mind.
That's smart.
I'll put
No,
in my
you're right.
email. I'll change my
Keeps in
mind if you supply me with food and give me a couple of bucks. It's like a bribery.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
give Phil anything to get this interview. Just want to make
Give you a
that
sore
sure.
hand, shaking my hand all the
that's
time. Yeah. So let's wrap up here. Okay. So somebody came up to you, Mike. They've seen you ran in 2 elections. Say I'm a new guy. Say Mr. Mike. I call Mr. Mike. Can you tell me what you do? I want to get involved in politics. What do you advise? What's the best advice you can give me? Tell me what you do.
Getting involved in
Yeah.
politics.
What kind of advice would you give somebody that's new, like a newbie, like yourself?
Right.
You're-
Well, no, you have to know what the issues are. You have to analyze them correctly, and you have to have creative solutions. So you have to be smart. You also have to be very caring. That's always very important in every election because everybody cares. You have to demonstrate that you care, but you also have to demonstrate that you need to be tough because you have a lot of competing interests and a lot of competing priorities, and you have to be able to explain why this is your priority versus this one. You're not going to please all the people all the time, but as long as you can please most of the people and you sound competent, and people will then trust you, and you have to be honest, and you can't go back on your word, and you have to listen to people, and then people will take a chance on voting for you, especially if you're different from everybody else, and you cannot lose. That's the thing. If you're out there with a message and some good solutions, as long as people have listened to you and heard you, and maybe next time they'll pay more attention, the crowd will move more in your direction. You've won, even if you haven't actually won the election, and that's kind of my attitude toward this. This was my attitude in the last election. I tried, I made an effort. You do that, you can never lose. You can only win. I can only win.
That's great. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to go to the camera. You're going to look at the camera and you're going to tell people. The question is, why should they vote for you, Mr. Mike?
Thank you very
Hold
much,
the sign
Phil.
before it blows up.
Yep.
So before I sign it, yeah, okay.
Okay.
You tell the camera right now.
So, as I was just explaining to Phil, I am a different kind of a candidate. I have I think I'm pretty smart in terms of how I've analyzed the situation of what needs to be done in the City of Toronto. I believe I've come up with some pretty innovative ideas. I have the amount of caring about all the people in the City of Toronto, and I'm also a tougher character than most of your other candidates will be. And so I want you to just remember that if you vote, that the problems that we've had today are due, that if you, sorry, messing this one up, Phil.
That's all right. It's your turn. Go ahead.
If, as I said earlier in the interview today, you get what you vote for. If you vote for the same candidates that got us into the mess we're in today, you're just going to get more of the same problems tomorrow. So please vote for me on October 26th. Thank you. My name is
Thank you,
Michael
Mr.
Lamoureux.
Thank you, sir.